Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yahanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the Convention Center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.
54th I.S.U.P.K. Passover, Raleigh Convention Center. It's called April 1st. Join us.
When I start, big shine, big glow. I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got a million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we about to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun young and down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts, very large caliber on very small gaps, compact pistols, ladders and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak would have been shot you. The best rhymer, Synth Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas around the big time.
My shot, he was far from the world. This is the right name, because he stood up with the Most High, and he was standing up with the Most High. He parted the Red Sea, and the entire nation of Israel walked out of slavery.
One West bedded, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West when I start.
This is the Raleigh Convention Center.
It's a big lobby too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Convention Center, taking it to the next level, worldwide.
Yes, sir.
So these are the two escalators.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. It's two here.
Coming
So
up.
we'll be in A and B. Right? Right, so A and B. So we'll have from here to the back there. So
Coming
the
up.
restroom.
So
in the back
A and
there.
B.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So from here, I believe.
They said that corner, that corner, that.
Huh?
From there, all the way down.
Hey, let me tell y'all something, brothers and sisters. Okay, I want you to understand. I want you to understand something, and why this is so important. Because when Satan tried to overthrow the truth, it was but a handful, and I mean a small handful of brothers that came together. Big shout out to General Muhammad, General Maya, General Haas, General Shalmar, General Katham Gabar, and General Q, and all the captains and soldiers that came through, and all the beautiful sisters. It was just a handful of brothers. And Satan thought to overthrow this truth, which is why we've been coming together for 54 years to promote this truth, and why you got to be here, why I want you here. I'm just telling you straight up. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even a promotion. This is why I want you here. Take a look at this. Give me a panoramic of this right quick. All the way around. And once again, this is a mark of what this truth has done for us and what the Lord have done for us. This wasn't done by man. This was the Most High doing this, because he handed us this truth and we held on to it. And it's a beautiful thing, and I can't wait to see y'all April 1st. It's going to be amazing. Oh, man. This is just what we need. And I see why they said that we needed that level of sound. Because to reach this room, to fill this room, you need some serious sound. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, right here. Let me see. Here. Anybody in here? Good.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So this would be the male dressing room.
Male dressing room. Okay. All right. Oh, it's nice size too. Okay. Yeah. All right, fam. This is a perfect male dressing room. You got bathrooms over here, showers. Turn around. You can take a look at that. I'll get in here and get set up. So do exactly what you need to do. You know what I mean? And once again, it's deserving of the brothers who have been so strong to hold us down for you to be just as strong and join them April 1st. It's an amazing thing.
That's it. All right.
Oh yeah, right there.
Look at this wonderful, wonderful kitchen. So big shout out to Shapana Pod. Your work is in good hands. Can we do a circle right quick? See how wonderful the work is the center plate. Handle their business. Thanks for allowing us to put you on tape. Showing what a great kitchen and a great operation this is. So I look forward to seeing everybody come on in, man. It's going to be amazing. April 1st. Raleigh, North Carolina, y'all. We at the backdrop of the convention center. We right across the street, doing it straight up in the Hanover room. Take a look at this room. Now they're gonna work this whole thing out for us. Jerome Muhammad's class will be rocking on a level. And I mean, I'm standing in this room and the temperature control system in this room is absolutely off the hook. So it's gonna be comfortable, beautiful, fully decorated, ready to go. This is it, fam. We worked hard for this. We worked hard to get here. So let's get it on. Big shout out to General Muhammad. Big shout out to the class he puts on, smoking as usual. And, you know, it's going to be beautiful to get up in here, man, and do our thing. Also, Feast of Unleavened as well. We'll be getting together and bringing this brotherhood and sisterhood together. We got to fight to bring the 12 tribes together. You ain't going to bring the 12 tribes together without a battle. You got to go to war to bring them together. Christ said, bring them two sticks together and tie them together. Everybody make it out, man. We doing it up April 1st, man, the whole week. Whew, it's going to be beautiful. All right, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Like anything, if you want to accomplish anything, especially in the truth of the Most High, you warn against all the spirits that would like to see you destroyed and like to see it fail. But through the grace and mercy of the Most High, great men have stood the test of time to create great things for the Most High. And this is no different. This is no different. This is a war and a battle to bring this truth where it should be. And boy, the men and women in this truth are continuing to do an amazing job. So, see y'all out there. War up, April 1st. Get it on.
One West bread, one West Betty, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West.
If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Oh yeah, it's going down. Join us for this year's All Black Party, hosted by Commanding General Yahanna and the I.S.U.P.K. This year, it's going down in Durham, North Carolina at the Durham Armory. Last year, brothers and sisters came out from all over the world. It was a packed house to celebrate the 2022 Hebrew Academy graduate. These brothers faced life and death, and as a result, they were honored on this night for their sacrifice and their victory at the gauntlet. But wait, this year, it's going down. There will be a Hebrew concert featuring Captain Akkad, 144 the Rebel, King Ty, Captain Ty Ward, One Westworld, Lost Tribes, Captain Katazar, I.S.U.P.K, also known as Dope E, and Officer Natazar, UPK Natazar, and much more. It's going to be an open bar. Make sure that you get your tickets. It's going down this year, 2023, the 54th annual Passover and the annual All Black Party, hosted by Commanding General Yahanna and the I.S.U.P.K.
Still blessed and still we rise.
You good? Let's clap it up. Yabashim Shabrak Thumb to all the brothers, Yahal Shemata Bashim Yashai to all the sisters. Hey, Yabashim Shabrak, what's good on SOAP? SOAP come to back him up with the smoke. Yeah, I mean, so tonight, I know we're gonna get some good questions. We should have some good questions on this International Women's Day, and it's very timely because we're gonna go into what you should do on International Women's Day if you love your woman, right? And of course, this class, you know, we teach this school, the Israelite School of UPK under Commanding General Yahanna since 1969 has been teaching the truth about the Bible to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who are God's chosen people. We're the 12 tribes of Israel. We're the real Jews of the Bible. All right? You all don't have the phones to set up? You don't have the phones to set up? No problem. Right? We teach the truth about the Bible. So when I say correct her, I'm talking about correcting your sister. Right? That sister who you have is a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian woman. Right? A Native Indian cousin, Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian sister, daughter, niece, mother sometimes, grandmother, auntie, you know, auntie get. it's correcting her, right? And that form of correction, brother, you're gonna have to be willing to be totally hated in this time for it. There was a time you would be absolutely treasured and valued for your correction of your sister and your correction of your people and standing for your people. But in 2023, correction is deemed as hatred for your people. In 2023, correction is deemed as it's really an outdated life to live. It's really something that's outdated because of how integrated we've become to our oppressor. And our oppressor wants us free of everything that inhibits you, everything that any kind of moral code that you have, anything that restricts you, the oppressor wants you free of that. And because of it, you cannot correct anyone in 2023 about anything. Even so, a woman, you can't tell her nothing. You have to support her every whim and fancy. So tonight on the night of International Women's Day or International Women's Night, you're going to learn to understand what you should do if you really love your sisters. If you really love a woman, what you would do. And you would really see that what you've been doing was not love at all. It was absolutely hatred. Right? So what we got? Any questions in the room? No sweat. If there's questions in the room, I'm going to take those. And any questions online, I'll try to get into this topic, all right? Go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Sir. There's a question from Lorena Adriana Zapata.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I want to join these brothers and sisters and meet in person. She is in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. Let's look up I.S.U.P.K. Connecticut. Look up Connecticut or Boston. That might be the closest city to her. All right, go ahead. It's up to you. Do whatever you need to do, brother. All right, look up that number and give it to her. We have schools all over. We have schools, Canada, Boston, UK, West Coast. Anywhere on the West Coast you are, Midwest, down south, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Oklahoma, New Orleans, West Indian Island, Trinidad, Jamaica, Brazil. We have schools all over the place. Wherever you are, you could get in contact with the I.S.U.P.K. everywhere and learn and relearn how to live. Because the biggest problem we face today as Black and Hispanic people and Native Indian people, Black and brown people, is we really don't know how to live. And because of that, we lead a very, very dysfunctional lifestyle. And now, because our oppressor has had a long time on the earth, he has been able to perfect the image of this dysfunctional lifestyle. And what do I mean by that? He's perfected the image of it so that it looks appealing, that it looks normal. And you don't realize just how dysfunctional you are. You don't realize just how dysfunctional your family is. You don't realize just how dysfunctional this goddamn society is. And anything against the society you think is evil. Anything that tries to turn this society back to the ways of the Lord, you look at it like if it's evil. So tonight we're gonna definitely go into it. All right. Any more questions, brother?
There's a question from Cliff Eubanks.
Somebody else could look up the number, and one of these brothers here could look up the number for you, and you could, properly focus on the computer.
There's a question from Cliff Eubanks. It says, "Shalom, brothers and sisters. Is it like it? To anyone, is it okay to get any KJV Bible, or does it have to be a 1611?"
Okay, 1611 is definitely preferable because it will have the Apocrypha in it, right? Or it should have the Apocrypha in it. Any King James version is good, but you might have to buy an Apocrypha separately, right? You might have to buy an Apocrypha separately, but you can buy a King James version 1611. I believe once it says 1611, it usually contains the Apocrypha. That's the real old Quaker English. You know what I mean? You just had to get used to reading it. It's not as modern as the print I'm talking about. It's not as modern as the King James or regular King James. You understand? What you want to make sure you don't get is New International Version, New King James, new NIV, anything new. Just don't get that. Just get your King James Version or your King James Version 1611. You'll be safe with that. If it does not contain the Apocrypha, all you just do is you buy your Apocrypha separately and you keep two of them together. That's the entire Bible, right? Without the Apocrypha, you know, it's incomplete. The entire Bible it contains the books that is called the Apocrypha. All right. What else we got?
So there's a question from Tricia Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Hi, I am a viewer from Suriname. I want to learn more about this fellowship."
No sweat. If you're from Suriname, Suriname, do you have WhatsApp? If you have WhatsApp, just type in your number. Not your number, just type in and let me know if you have WhatsApp from Suriname. Right? The people in Suriname are also Israelites. They're either a mix of Asher or Benjamin because of where Suriname is located. You're still one of the 12 tribes. You have people from Suriname, Martinique. Those places are very have been colonized by the oppressor a whole lot. Suriname, definitely the Dutch has colonized Suriname, and you have a ton of our people in the Netherlands coming from places like Suriname and the Dutch Antilles. Martinique is another place that the French also, have control over. Martinique, Guadeloupe. You have a ton of our brothers and sisters in France. If you're from any one of those areas, just type in. I'll let you know how to get in contact with the school and get built up.
She says, yes, I do have WhatsApp.
If you have WhatsApp, you want to take this number, 202-701-4640. Right? That's 202-701-4640. You're going to get in contact with the officer, and he'll instruct you for Suriname and get you right. Are you living in Suriname, or you from Suriname but you live in another country? All right. Anything else, Bukwash?
So the same person asked, what is the difference between the King James Bible and the Bible itself?
Define what you mean by the Bible itself. All right. You want to define what you mean by the Bible itself. All right, what else we have?
We have a question from Officer Itazab. It says, sir, can you tell me what's the lively talking about in Exodus 1:19?
Let's get it. I believe we broke that down a few weeks ago, right? This is with the babies. I believe this is with the babies. Let's get it.
Okay. This is Exodus chapter 1 and verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
Right. So this here, I think we went through this a few weeks ago. Right. This here was the midwives, the Hebrew midwives. What's that? Zipporah and I think it's Zipporah. What's the names? Forget the names. I always want to mention the names because what they did was very heroic. You know what I mean?
It's Shipporah and Pua.
Shipporah and Purah, and Pua, right? These two sisters with Hebrew midwives. Pharaoh told them if the children of the Hebrews, if it's a male child, to slaughter the male child, to unalive the child, to kill the child. If it's a female, keep the child alive, because of course Egypt wanted to destroy the children of Israel, wanted to destroy the line of Israel, so that the name of Israel will be no more, like it says in Psalms 83. And how you do that? By weakening your males and then destroying your males. That's how you destroy a nation. You destroy the men. You destroy the men, in 20 years, you'll have no nation. Because one generation that's an adult that would probably range from 25 to 35 will now be what? 65 to 75 on death's doorstep. and there will be no young men. They'll just be women because there's no sons to carry the seed on. You see, your nation comes from men. Men carry seed. Men carry sperm. That's what fertilizes the eggs and grows into a baby, right? So now these two midwives got instructions from Pharaoh to destroy Israel. And they did not, they refused that. They refused that. If you want to fight against something, sisters, in International Women's Day, you fight against abortion. You fight against destroying your nation through the unaliving of your children. And Pharaoh wanted these children, you know, out the womb, you know, put them in the grave. He wanted the males like that. So, of course, these sisters did not follow what Pharaoh said. And when they were asked, this is the excuse they gave. Read the scripture one more time, brother, please.
This is Exodus chapter 1 and verse 19. And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered.
Skip the verse above.
Verse 18. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive?
Right? Save them. Just remember that. They called these women and said, why have you saved these young boys? If you want to know how to fight, sisters, and what to fight for, you should fight for the lives of black men. That's what you should fight for. That's what you should get all emotional about, what you should get gun-ho about, what you should get, you know, all locked up in one accord about, to come against anything that threatens the lives of black men, of black boys. These sisters did it. They saved young black men, and the leader of that government came to them and said, why did you save them? I told you to put them to death. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
Right? These sisters were not only were these sisters courageous and brave, right? Not only were these sisters, so these sisters is like these One West sisters up in here. You'll give them a hand. These sisters up in here is courageous and brave and disciplined and true women who display true femininity and know what righteous anger is and know how to do it. These sisters was courageous. They did not go murder these babies. And they was wise. That's another very rare trait amongst our Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women. Today is International Women's Day. You're going to really learn what you should do as a woman. And if you're a brother, you're going to learn how to deal with a sister and what you should require of her. You should require a very high standard. And these two sisters here had a high standard. They were courageous and brave to go against Pharaoh. That's like going against Biden. That's like going against Trump or going against Obama when they was presidents of America. You get the point? Whatever country you're in, imagine your leader gives an order to all the midwives, nurses on the maternity ward. Let's put it like that. And you disobey the order. You disobey it, and they call you forward. They call you forward to answer why you didn't follow the law, not the law of the land, but a government mandate, an order. And these sisters were so wise. They didn't say, well, you know, you're evil and you're wrong and you're going, you know, I ain't doing it. Because why? They'd have been put to death themselves. You get the point? These sisters said, read it again.
And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
He said, our women, the Hebrew women, they're not like the heathen women, the Egyptian women, or the Egypt is who? Matazarium. They're not like the Matazarium, or they're not like the Moabites or the Ammonites, which is the biblical name for the Chinese and the Japanese. They're not like them. They are lively women. Meaning what? They got spirit in them. They got absolute spirit in them. You see, like how some women, they go into labor, and the thought of having a baby is just too much. It's just too much. These women go in there as if they go into camp. You see, like how you go into camp, and you line up in that van, and you looking at your precepts, and you ready to roll. You hit that pavement. You go up on that podium, and you running, you rocking, you lively, you about the business. These women was about making this baby. They ain't waiting on no midwife. They get down there, and this is, remember, at this time they're not making babies like how you do it now, where they sit on the bed and they had the stirrups. That's a modern way of doing it. They had something that like almost like a chair. You're squatting down low, and you push the baby out that way. You let gravity help you. When you're laying on that bed, it's downward forces to the bed. But if she's kind of sitting up at an angle, the gravity is down. That was the older way of doing it. They get down there and they get busy, man. And these two midwives were saying, by the time I get in there to follow your orders, sir, the baby is out. I can't do it no more. Because why? The midwife would be the first one to take the baby out and wipe the baby off. And then she would go back to clean the baby, cut the umbilical cord. And then Pharaoh expected her then to kill the baby. And now she'll come back and say, well, the baby didn't survive the birth, that's kind of normal. When you look at birth rates or survival rates, it's having a baby is a real life miracle. It's something it's not easy to do. It seems easy today, especially with modern medicine and the access to so much knowledge. You could damn Google how to do this shit yourself. You get the point? But imagine a time where you don't have Google, you don't have all these, antibiotics and the drips they give in the woman and the damn what's the thing they put in the epidural. You don't have all of that stuff. And you there somewhere on a cottage farm somewhere or in some little town or village, and is grit and determination and spirit. You're gonna have to be lively to do this job. You get the point? It's not like today. Today we are a very weakened form of who we are. You could go to the store and get meat. Before you would have had to raise up some goats, raise up some cattle, or know somebody who's done raised it up. You get the point? We live such an accessible life. The life for us today has become very easy, which has made us, by and large, weaker than what we would be. Have we not have this type of lifestyle? Add the slavery onto that. Our dependence on this oppressor, it makes us very weak. These women, they were not like that. That baby come on before they get there. They're saying our sisters are lively, meaning they got spirit in them. They're about the business. This time for the baby to come. I want this baby out. This is my job. This is what I'm here to do. You get the point? Which is a far cry from today. A far cry to today. It's all kind of, you have a whole psychological aspect attached to it because of how we live today. You get the point? So that's what it means, ITHES. All right. These sisters was lively. They was about the business. They was full of spirit, full of the Lord's spirit. That's really what it means. I think it's kaya in the Hebrew, right? Or a variation of kaya, which is live or to be alive. These sisters here was lively. All right. What else we have?
There's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Dahim Zanatis, he says, I got a question. I'm 15.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching The Truth going on 3 years now, and my aunties, my mom, they always tell me you act like an old man, you don't act like a kid anymore, you don't smile, and things like that. So how do I combat that?
You sound perfect for the work of the Lord, brother.
That's right.
You sound perfect for the work of the Lord. Your auntie and your mom, they used to you being little Pookie, little snotty-nosed boy running around the house crying for G.I. Joes or whatever they play with today, right? They're not used to you being, a man, right? Give me my precept. Ecclesiastes, what, 7 and 7? Give it to me quick. Give me Ecclesiastes, I think it's 7 and 7. That's what I want.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Right? Oppression makes a wise man mad. Right? This young brother saying he's very. What read this again, said?
He says he's been watching The Truth for 3 years, and his auntie and his mom always says that you act like an old man, you don't act like a kid anymore, you don't smile, things like that.
Right, you don't smile. They find you a little bit too serious. You're a little bit too grave. Right, grave that's another word you don't hear too much anymore. Right, everybody. The only time you hear grave is when somebody died and you gotta go bury them. But grave is a word meaning you're not a light-headed person. You're not, you're not silly. You're not silly at all. You got some character in you. You got something in you that makes you heavy. Like, oh, that's an old UPK term. That is a UPK 101 term. Man, that's heavy. Oh man, that's a heavy brother right there. That's a heavy sister right there. She ain't light. And you don't develop that character at 15 so that two adults are now, okay, I don't want to say intimidated by you, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like, well, this ain't no boy no more. Why don't you smile more? Why don't you be silly more? Which is more proof of what I'm saying, how weak we are today. If we were in our right element today, those two sisters would have said, he 15, but he ain't no little boy. Let me go find some men to help mold him further into his future. Not encourage him to be more silly. Not look at him and be like, man, you're an old man, nothing. Point is, brother, what city you in at? What city he's in? No sweat. Type in your city. What's his name? Jahim. Type in your city, please, brother. I'm gonna let you know what you need to do. His question was, what does he need to do? How does he combat it? You don't combat it, brother. You embrace it. You don't combat that. You embrace that. You embrace what the hell you are. You're a man, right? You're a young man. You're coming of age to be a man. You're getting that masculine vibe. You're getting that responsible vibe on you. You're a man. You embrace that. Go ahead.
He also says, they also say I don't act like a kid because I don't celebrate my birthday, and the UPK took my youth.
The UPK didn't take your youth, brother. And they once again, this is International Women's Day, brother. Listen, young man Jahim, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna learn how to educate your mother and auntie. I ain't gonna say correct because it's gonna come across the people out there, the people in silly land and happy land, they're going to internalize that as disrespectful, like correcting your auntie or your mommy when you are correcting them. But I'm gonna give you the better word. You're gonna educate them about life. You're gonna be able to educate them about life. What does birthdays do for a man? Nothing. What does birthdays ever do for a woman? Nothing. From life for me, I don't know why you sisters want to celebrate your birthday. You want to be reminded of how goddamn old you are. You want to celebrate the birthday, but if I ask you your age, you're going to lie to me, heifer. Right. You're going to lie to me. Why? Because you're just weak. You're weak and you're selfish. You want to have the party, but you don't want to live the life. You don't want to commit to nothing. Okay, let's celebrate birthdays. Go tell everybody you're 47. Stop acting like you're 32. Go tell everybody that. So we know, okay, they could start calling you auntie. Hey, auntie. You don't want nobody call you auntie, though. You want brothers to keep whistling at you, but you want to celebrate your age. What the hell do you want? You want young treatment, or you want to be treated like how old you are? We're weak. We're weak and we live after pleasure, and you don't want nobody to correct you. This is the wrong place to be if you don't want nobody to correct you. I can tell you that straight. Where does he say he's from? No sweat. Jahim, what you want to do, brother, is find the UPK, the closest UPK school to you. Right, I'm going to let you know something, Jahim. Is he still on? Okay, Jahim, Commander General Yahanna was 15 when he walked into One West. He was 15 years old when he walked into One West. He was a young brother, very young brother. And he was able to learn things as a young brother that made sure he did not go down the road that other young brothers went. You understand? You see the work he did. You see what he's built. You see the brothers he's built up and saved their lives. You see the sisters he's built up and gotten strong and saved their lives. You need to find the UPK closest to your brother. And you don't have to hate your mother or your auntie. You don't have to despise them. You bear with them. Just like they would bear with you if you were silly. If you were 15 getting into trouble, stealing cars, some young brother in DC here riding around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, 13 years old, carjacking, some fool come out and blast him and blow him away. The dude said, the dude who shot him said the young boy tried to run first, but the friends who he came with in the other car peeled off and left him. He grabbed the door swung open, they left him. He turns around with his hands up to the idiot with the gun and says, "Please, sir, I'm sorry. Dude blast him. Blows him away on the spot. 13 years old. 13 years old. He celebrates his birthday, though. He's young and silly. Just like if you were like that, your mother and your auntie would bear with your immaturity. They would put up with you and they would say these words. It's just a phase. He just young. She just young. They're going to grow out of it. They would put up with you. So now as you come into the truth, brother, you're a young man. You don't have to be angry with your mother or your auntie or sometimes your father or older brother. You understand? Or older brother. I'll give Ra'im a hand. Officer Ra'im in Chicago. Ra'im started off here in DC. And brother, he had a carnal brother in the world. When I say carnal, meaning of his own flesh. And came to the camp, brother, and stood in front of the camp for 2 hours, surrounding the camp, pleading Ra'im to leave. Pleading with him to leave the truth. And Ra'im stood strong. Huh? And it was difficult because this was his brother who he loved. He grew up in the house with. And this brother pulled up, illegally parked, came out and was livid that young Ra'im, young Ra'im, this was probably about 10 years ago. Young Ra'im was in the camp as a trooper reading for all these grumpy, stone cold men who you just, going hard for the Lord and, not accepted by the world. And he stood strong. What you need to do, brother, just like how they would have accepted your youth, you now gonna have to come in the truth, learn the truth, live it, and bear with them and be the parent to them in their age. And it's a tremendous responsibility. You're gonna just have to not respond to certain things, not take it too tough. They come into you with, "Why don't you eat this piece of pork, boy? You know you're missing the pork." Mom, I already told you, I should gonna get your cancer. Man. When they cut your foot off, I hope you're still alive. You get it, boy? Like, you're going to have to be like that. You ain't got to get angry with them. You're going to have to be like that because now they are your juniors. Now they are the little silly kids in the world loving this kingdom, and you are grown up in spirit over them. You get the point? And what I'm saying is, absolutely biblical, right? Give me who is my mother? Give me when Mary asked Christ to do for the wine. Florida, boy, you're gonna get up, you're gonna get down in Florida on the Captain Warrior Allah Salaka, right? Excellent brother in the truth. And you're going to come in strong, brother. You're going to get to go to class. And listen, 15, brother, they're going to tell you you're too young. 15, brother, you're old enough. Now you could, before we go there, give me 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. Right, this is for Jaheem. Put the number to the Florida school down there. If you don't have it, I'll give it to you. You put it in there? Most High in Christ. Jaheem, you call that number I.S.U.P.K. Florida. You're going to be all right, brother. You're going to be all right. And understand this. Just because you come to serve the Lord doesn't mean life gets easier. Life don't get easier. If you're looking for easy life, go to church. Go join the Navy. Go join, go be one of them. But if you want to, become a man, number one, and raise up a nation, this is where you need to come and be. Life ain't going to get easier. But it surely ain't going to be that dumb nonsense you would be living in the world. You get the point? You're going to escape that foolishness. But it's going to require some strength from you. All right? Give me the scripture I want, please.
Read these verses.
1 Corinthians 13 and 11.
You got the 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child.
Right? When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. Your auntie and your mom is concerned about you because you ain't doing those things no more. You don't understand like a child anymore. You don't talk like a child anymore. You understand? You don't think like a child anymore. Go ahead.
But when I became a man.
Say it again.
But when I became a man.
Say it one more time.
But when I became a man.
Go ahead.
I put away childish things.
And Jaheim, it sounds like you done became a man up in that house, brother. Thanks to Command General, thanks to the Most High in Christ and the I.S.U.P.K under Command General Yahanna. That two sisters in the world would say the UPK done took your youth. That's a blessing to come from the mouth of Christians, brother. That's a blessing to come from them. That's you definitely know that you're on the right track. So the UPK done took your youth. The UPK is the place where all your youth should be. All your young ones should be up in here so we could make a productive nation and society. That's where we need to be. You understand? Now that I became a man, go ahead.
But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
I did what?
I put away childish things.
I did what?
I put away childish things.
Right? When I became a man, I put away childish things. And brother, you have already put away childish things. There's more childish things to put away. But it seems like you already put away some, brother. You should stand strong in that thing and get in contact with the school. There's a way, there's definitely a way forward for brothers like you. And listen, Command General Yahanna is not the only young brother. A ton of brothers came in here real young. Shit, Captain Aria was born in the truth. What the hell I'm talking about? You get the point? There's other brothers who came in here super young, brother. Captain Saparia got a couple sons, came in young, brother, and they be up there in Baltimore. You would swear they're in the camp as troopers, and they're not there yet. But if them young brothers move, you would not believe their age. You get the point? Like that whole thing, you 15, you had to go what? Wreck your life? Nah. Go ahead.
So he's like I said, he says his sister's father is in the UPK. He's in contact with Captain
Most High in Christ. He right there where he needs to be. You don't ever come off that that platform, brother. Don't ever come up off of that spirit arc. And make sure you make it to the Passover too. Make sure you make that there to the Passover. They're talking about birthdays. The Passover is where you need to be. All right. Let me get this other one too. Give me John 2 and start at 1 real quick. All right. And then we get more into the topic.
God. Book of John, chapter 2, verse 1. And the third day, there was a marriage in Cana and Galilee. And the mother of Jesus was there. Verse 2. And both Jesus was called with his disciples to the marriage. Verse 3. And
so there was this wedding, right? And Christ's mother was there. Mary was there, right? Just like how it is, there's a marriage ceremony. When it says a marriage, don't think wedding like the Christian church. In the Bible, once in the biblical days, the proper way to marry a woman would be to do what? You go to her father first before you even start talking to her. You go to her father and seek permission. That's the proper way to do it. Get his permission to go start talking to his daughter, and you now start seducing this girl to take her clothes off. And once I'm saying it plain for y'all. Y'all think I talk too plain. I realize I talk too plain. Good, deal with it. You get a filter. I don't need no filter. Hell, the Lord give you 2 ears and give me a mouth. He must wanted you to hear me. So you know, I'm saying it for what it is. You ain't trying to go talk to the father to be a righteous and honorable man and put his daughter up in the house and no, you want her to take her clothes off, and that's fine. That's righteous. That's what the Lord wants, right? But you got to get permission. You got to get permission because her father could give you permission. Her father could say, "Man, she like you, man, and I like you. Give me X amount of $1,000 for her. Go in there and take her clothes off, man. In fact, I think she have it off already. Go on in there, brother. Go bring me some grandchildren." That's so righteous and good and strong and wholesome to have. But what would happen is you would get permission to court his daughter. And as the courtship grows and matures, eventually both of you all are going to want to marry, which means to come together. That's what marry means. Marry does not mean a ring and a pastor. Marry means to come together, like you marry two pieces of cloth together. Or you put two things together, two things that are not normally together. You put it together, you marry them, and that coming together is called sex. So now on the night when you all are supposed to marry or have sex, they would have a party to celebrate this union, because a marriage is a heavy thing. In the Apocrypha, it says if you marry your daughter, you have performed a weighty matter. Why a weighty matter? We're going to get into it tonight as International Women's Day. It's a weighty matter to grow a daughter up right and honorable and give her to another man, and she not be like a rabid dog, and she not be wild, and she not be shameless. It's a weighty thing to do. It's heavy to do. You get the point? And that's what this is here we're reading about. It's a party to celebrate these two people coming together in the right way, in the right spirit, with permission, with the blessing of the girl's father. The families know each other. And that's another thing skipped today too. I saw a video today, and I shared it on that Facebook, where there's a comedian, a brother from New York. You all remember the brother? He used to wear the Timbs. He used to be fresh out, nigga. Ain't nothing to go back. Fresh out. So he's in the grocery store, and he talking to this woman, and he hear her say, "Bye, dad." And he say, "Oh, you call your man dad?" She's like, "No, I'm talking to my real dad." And he said, "Oh, no, you got standards. You have a father. I can't talk to you." And it comes across as a joke, but you best believe, brother, that's what's going on today. You rather her not have a father, and if she does have a father, you rather avoid it. You rather avoid him because you don't have honor in you. You don't have any honor in you. Knowing her family, it helps with the marriage. Why? Because when you get angry with her, brother, and you're looking at her and you can't stand her, you're going to say, "That's Bakwa's sister, man. I can't do that." When she gets fed up and she, hurts, or what do these sisters like to say? "I'm falling out of love," whatever the hell that bullshit means. When she look at you, she going to be like, "Man, I know his father. I know his sisters. I can't walk away from this man. These are my family now." You tied and bound into something that's stronger than you. It helps. But when nobody know nobody, and you all meet in 89 somewhere, the first sign of trouble, y'all could walk your separate ways. There's no witnesses to ask, "What happened to so-and-so? I ain't seen y'all wrong her no more. What happened to so-and-so? What happened to him? You know with him no more?" There's nobody gonna ask, because there's no father, no families, no authority involved. You just sneaking around and geeking around and doing all kind of dumb shit. You get the point? Having that, it safeguards what you're going into. It absolutely safeguards it. Anyway, so now Christ is called to this wedding party, right? Keep going.
Verse 3. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, They have no wine.
So when they wanted wine, Christ's mother went to him and said, "Son, they ain't got no wine." Go ahead.
I might have missed it. During the celebration is before the marriage.
Yep. Sometimes after. Depends on the people. There's no set in stone procedure of how it's supposed to go. But this is a party because this is a big deal. It's it's a big deal. You get the point? Like a baby shower for a woman. You get the point? It's a big deal. Sometimes the party continues after. You come out after, she come out with the sheets, the token of virginity. She's proud, she know her honor is intact, and that she's right according to our law. And he professes before everybody this is his woman, and everybody start drinking and partying again. You get the point? It's a difference to how things is now. You get the point? So Christ's mother came to him and said, "There ain't no wine." Why would she do that?
Because he did it before.
That's it. He was doing shit around the house. He was doing some shit, he was doing some stuff. And she knew what he was capable of. So she's coming to him like, "You gonna do that?" Yeah, right now. Ain't nobody looking, boy. Read on.
Verse 4. Jesus saith unto her, woman.
Say it again.
Woman.
He said, mommy.
Woman.
Mommy.
Woman.
Mother.
Woman.
Ma.
Woman.
Mama.
Woman.
Mama.
Woman.
He said woman. Because she is a
woman.
She's a woman. She says mother. Christ recognized that she's a woman. Jahim, that's your auntie and your mother. You're 15 now. They're women. They're women that need your care and your attention, your protection, but most of all, your correction / education. That's what they need most of all. Woman, go ahead.
What have I to do with thee?
That's what he told his mother. That's what he told his mother. Meanwhile, them other mad boys, the men, they I can't go a day without my mama. You can't go a day without your mother. You can't go a day without your mother. You can't go to war for nothing. You can't endanger your life because mommy don't want you out there endangering your life. You can't. You're not good for nothing because of your mama. She's a woman that did a job. Get the point? He said, woman, what have I to do with you? Like, you know, what more you want from me, woman? Come on. What else? This ain't my concern. You know what I'm about. This is Yahushua. This is Yahushua. Jahim, you're going to have to take on that spirit, brother. And you don't have to disrespect them. You don't have to get foul with them, of course. You should make it to that Passover. You should get under the tutelage of Captain Shawariyala down there and them brothers down there in Florida, Kazak Thamar and I.S.U.P.K. What's the Levite brother name? Is it Kushab? Kushab, lawyer? I forget his name. I think Kushab, Levite brother down there. There's a whole ton of solid ace brother, 100%. My man, 100 grand, Rakabia, who is Shawariyala's right-hand man. You get under mighty monarch and you deliver Florida to the Lord, brother, for your mama's sake and your auntie's sake. Don't mind if they get angry. You go work for the Lord, brother. They'll be thankful one day, very soon. If Christ ain't back yet, everybody who loves this place and think what we do is, you know, excessive or a joke or you're crazy. A day is coming when you're going to wish that you know, bound yourself to us. Go ahead. No, not Adiyar. No, Adiyar I think is in Texas. There's another brother down there in Florida. Forgive me, brother, if I forget your name or I messed it up. I think it's Kushab. But anyway, that's what Christ said, right? That's what he said to his mother. What do I have to do with thee? Like, what more do I have to do with thee? Meaning, like, what else you want me to do, man? You want me to be this little boy doing, you know, stuff for you all day long? I'll work to do. You understand? That's how he, you know, that, and he's talking to his mother. Shit. We say that today, it's a problem. Now you enemy number one. You enemy number one. Any more? Any more questions or anything like that?
There's one more question.
Come on with it.
I think it's kind of smart.
Listen, this is the place for smart. This is the place for smart people and asses. So if you're a smart ass, it's the best place for you. Excuse me, language. Go ahead.
Question from Snipes Williams.
Mm-hmm.
William, he says, "Is the white man the devil the Bible speaks of? The Bible is talking about? Asking for a friend."
Absolutely, Snakes. What's his name? Snipes Williams. Absolutely, 100% accurate. Facts. I hope you get the point. We good? Let me know if there's any more. We write up on it. If anybody else have any more questions, you'll find out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a question from
also too, somebody should be monitoring that TikTok for questions as well, all right? Go ahead,
There's a question from Kazak Yashala. It says, Question for Captain: how did the name Yahushua come about? Some say Yeshua, some say Yeshaya.
I understand. Okay, well, first give me Matthew 1 and 21. Give me Matthew 1 and 21.
Okay.
Give me that first. Give me Joshua, any Joshua scripture. All right, and let's go there quickly. Who have it? Matthew 1:21.
Oh God. Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Right.
For he shall save his people.
Right.
From their sins.
Stop right there. When I say right, stop. Pause for a second. All right. This is the angel telling his mother Mary what Christ's name gonna be. Right. His name is going to be Jesus in the English or Greek, depending on how you want to look at it. Right. His name gonna be Jesus. Right. That's if you want the simple answer how his name came about. That's the name the Lord said to call it. Right. Now let's get to give me Exodus 17 and 10.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 10. So Joshua did as Moses had said unto him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill.
All right. So now, Joshua's name in the Hebrew is what? Who knows? Because you able to pull it up like with the blue letter Bible, or you want me to do it? Okay, no sweat. I'm gonna pull it up. Give me Joshua in the Hebrew. Quickly, Akim.
Okay.
So Joshua, J-O, right? Okay, I think I got it.
It's young.
Give me that same verse. Where am I? Exodus 17 and 10?
Okay,
All right, give me that same one.
it is Yahushua.
Yahu.
Yahushua.
Yahu. Is that Hebrew? Somebody who understands it. Bukwash, I'm gonna jump in and take it. Just take over your screen for one quick second, all right?
Okay.
All right, the brother who asked the question. All right, what's his name?
Scroll down on me. It was Kazak Yashala.
Okay, Kazak Yashala. Okay, so keep an eye on the screen, Kazak Yashala, all right? Okay, so this is the Exodus 17 and 10 right here that we just read. So Joshua did as Moses said unto him. Now, when you go into the Hebrew, right, this is Joshua right here, right? Strong's H3091, and this is your concordance or your dictionary down there for the Hebrew as it matches up with the English words, right? These words here, these letters here that you see in this one here that I'm putting on this little thing that look like a little comma is the Yah in the Hebrew. This other one that looks like a 7 with a broken leg is the Ha. This other one that looks like a short 7 or upside down hockey stick is Wa. This one here is Sha, and the letter on the end is I. That's the Assyrian spelling, right? Or the Assyrian Salakia way of writing, style of writing, right? You come into the Israelite school of UPK, you're going to learn Hebrew. You're going to learn the Assyrian and the Hebrew it's pronounced Yahawashai, right? It's the same name as Joshua. It's a variant of it. You have different variants. Yahawashai. There's a brother who we had here in DC. He done dropped his sword. His name was Ban Yashawai, which is the Yashawai is a variant of the Yahawashai. His name was Saved Son. So now we're gonna read what Yahawashai's name is, right? What it means. So like you're seeing it here, right? Is it big on the screen? Okay. Bear with me. Joshua or Jehoshua, that's in the English. That's what them, little tassel, t-shirt tassel wearing traitors like to say, Yehoshua and Yehoshui and all that nonsense. That's not Hebrew. Hebrew doesn't have vowel sounds like O and U and E. Hebrew has grunts. That's the best way to describe it. It's a very blunt language. Ah, ba, ga, da. It's grunts that come together to make sounds. In the scriptures, when you see in the New Testament that they talk about the barbarians, the reason they call them barbarians is because of how we spoke. Because when we spoke to them, to their Greek language is so sophisticated. To them, it sounds like ba, ba, ga, God. So they called us barbarians, the Baba people. That's where the word barbarian comes from. It comes from they kind of mocking our language, calling us barbarians, right? These old rough people speaking that old rough language. That's how Hebrew is, right? It means Jehovah is salvation or salvation of the Lord, right? So it's a variation. The meanings in Hebrew, they will have there's a root meaning, and then you have variations around it, like how we speak in spirit. You get the point? Like how we speak in spirit. So for instance, if it is now that I say if I say to somebody, man, you ready for Passover? Shit. What does that mean? What does that mean?
No,
I ain't ready.
Right.
If somebody say, man, you ready for Passover? Shit. What does that mean?
We good to go.
Same word. Same word. You get the point? That's the name of our king. His name is Yahawashai HaMashiach. Mashiach means anointed or chosen one. He's the chosen savior from the Lord, the anointed savior. All right. His name is Yahawashai. All that other pronunciation, Yahushua, and whatever else they say, that's Yiddish. They once again, they don't want to follow Commander General Yahanna. They don't want to follow the UPK. They don't want to follow after head priest Arya. They don't want to follow what he laid down, and thus they bastardize the tongue, they bastardize the language, getting it from the Jewish man, and they speak some other thing that's not Hebrew. But his name is Yahawashai. It's essentially the same name as Joshua. All right. And I believe Jesse too. I believe Jesse is a variant of it the same way. All right. I hope that answers your question, brother. We good?
It's like they say the Levite brother's name is Sashawab.
Sashawab, that's the brother I'm talking about. Be having them fly garments with the boots and all that stuff. His boot game is bad as shit, right? Sashawab. You got some good brothers down there in Florida. I hope Jaheim, you get up with those brothers and never leave their side. What we got?
There's a question from Denise D. Lewis. She said, "Is gambling a sin? And what word of God said that it is not? Do you believe in hellfire? Do you have cash out?"
Fuck. Which one? Which question I want to answer first? I prefer answer the cash app one. I prefer answer the cash app one first, if you don't mind. What's the question she asked?
Is gambling a sin, and what word of God said that it is not?
Okay, give me Romans 4:15. All right, give me Romans 4:15.
The book of Romans, chapter 4 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Because the law worketh wrath. For where no law is, there's no transgression.
Read it one more time.
Book of Romans, chapter 4 and verse 15. Because the law worketh wrath. For where no law is, there is no transgression.
Right? Because the law worketh wrath. What does that mean? The same person who asked the question, right? Are they still on? Do you know if they're still on or they're gone with the online classes page?
No, she should still be on.
Okay, the same. Is it a sister or a woman? The same sister who asked the question. Because you had to be the gatekeeper. Again, never see that Thor movie with the nigga at the gate with the big sword? You can't come in here. You can't be the gatekeeper. Okay, the person who asked the question, are you an Israelite or you are of the other nations, of the oppressors? She's an Israelite or she's an oppressor?
She's an Israelite. I thought you were talking about someone in the school versus someone in
okay, no sweat. The person who asked the question about the cash app. The Israelites? You sure? The person who asked the question, your father is an Israelite?
Yes.
Good. After answer these questions, you're gonna go to ISUPK.com and pay some tithes. All right, you're gonna pay tithes on that tax return you just got, and you are going to pay tithes on that salary you got last week. All right, and I'm gambling that you would obey what I tell you to do. I'm wagering with myself. So if I lose, I win, and if I win, I win. Okay, give me lots in the Bible dictionary or the regular dictionary. All right. So what? We read that scripture one more time.
The book of Romans, chapter 4 and verse 15.
In the Bible dictionary is Lot, L-O-T. All right. Give me read it one more time. So what?
Because the law worketh wrath, for where no law is, there is no transgression.
Right, because the law worketh wrath. Where no law is, there is no transgression. The woman who asked the question, what does it mean because the law worketh wrath? What does that part mean? What does it mean because the law worketh wrath? Yeah.
She says oppress.
No, not oppress. Not oppress. Anybody? What does it mean when the law worketh wrath? Salakia.
The law is the punishment for disobeying.
The wrath is the punishment, right? Just imagine a child that's 2-3 years old. They ain't old enough to run from you yet fully, and yet they're old enough to understand when they did something wrong. That belt that's across that child, or that hand, if you're a spanker, some people like that spanking thing, right? To that child, it feels like wrath. It feels like anger. It feels like, war. Which is why, what does the child do after they get a beating or that belt? What does the child do?
They cry.
Well, that's the point. But after that,
they think about it. They don't do that action anymore.
No, there's something they do.
They'll run to the nurturing of the mother.
I'll take that. They'll say they're sorry to you, try to give you a hug, because they realize you're angry. To stop it, and then there comes the I ain't doing it no more. I'm done with it. So now read the scripture one more time. So what?
The book of Romans, chapter 4 and verse 15. Because the law worketh wrath.
The law worketh wrath. There's a punishment that comes from the law. The law does not say, do not do this or do not do that. The law says, if you do this, this is the punishment. If you do that, this is the punishment. The law worketh wrath. So because the law worketh wrath, because there's a punishment associated with disobeying the law, breaking the law, read on so up.
For where no law is, there is no transgression.
Where no law is, there is no transgression. Where no law is, there's no transgression. If there's not a law about this thing, if there's not a punishment written in this book about this particular activity or act, there's no sin, there's no transgression. So her question was, is gambling, read it again? She worded it such like a lawyer. You must be a lawyer, Esquire. Go ahead.
So she said, is gambling a sin, and what word of God said that it is not?
That's such a lawyer question. Mr. UPK, is gambling a sin? And if it's not, what word of God says it's not? That's not how the law works. Get the point? It's not a sin because you cannot show me a law that says it is. All right, woman? I hope you understand that. Gambling is not a sin because you cannot show me a law that says it is. In essence, she is telling me I have to show her a law that says it's not. The owner ain't on me to prove nothing. If it is you trying to stop me from doing something, or you trying to stop anyone from doing something, you have to show the law that says don't do this. Think like a police officer. Police officer pull you over, right? And he tells you it's illegal to have a red covering on your passenger seat. What? No, you have to. You got to show me that law. I don't have to show you nothing. I'm an officer. Call your supervisor. I ain't coming out. I ain't doing nothing. You got to show me that law. Sis, I'm saying it loosely. You're going to have to show me the law that says gambling is a sin. Go ahead.
She came on again and says, I am unlearned older woman. Don't know what y'all are talking about, but I am learning from you.
That's give her a hand. She admitted she don't know what you're talking about. All right. That's fine. I get you, but I hope you're listening. Right? Where there is no law, there is no sin. There's no law that says you cannot gamble. Right? Gambling is an activity mainly of who? Mainly of who? I'll give you the answer. Men. Just look up there. Right? Mainly of men. Women don't like it because that's the Louis Vuitton pump money you're gambling. That's the red bottoms money you're gambling. That's the MAC expensive ass makeup money you're gambling. That's all the money that should go to me because I'm just a greedy so-and-so money you're gambling. And most women don't like it. In addition to that, most women don't like it because the Christian church tell them it's wrong when it's not wrong. Once again, if there's a law against it, you have to produce it. All right? Now, give me, Salaki, go ahead.
I got one for lots in action.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take that.
Okay. Acts chapter 1, verse 24. That's like this is more than Judas.
Go ahead with it.
Acts chapter 1, verse 24. And they prayed and said, Thou Lord.
Stop right there. Somebody hold Luke 23 and 34 as well. Go ahead. Say where you at again.
Acts chapter 1, verse 24. And they prayed and said, Thou Lord, which knowest the hearts of all men, show rather of these two thou hast chosen, that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship.
Right. So this is after when Judas betrayed our king Yahushua, and he went on to take his own life, right? And they needed to replace the 12, replace one of the 12, right? There were 11. This is when I believe that they chose Matthias or Matthias in the Greek, in the English. It was Matthias. This is when they chose him, and this is how they went about doing it, right? There were several, more than one. That's the best way to put it. There was more than one eligible brother who could step up in rank to be one of the 12, right? From the body of the students that they had. There was you, and that's usually how it is. It's usually how it is. Some fool dropped the sword, somebody, desert, you're a deserter, you abandon your post, then somebody now has to fill in your space. And then now there's going to be a consideration for the next in line. And usually there's a few brothers who could be next in line, right? Could be next in line, and you want to figure out who it is. Sometimes it's clear. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, well, he's up now. He been doing the work anyway. Or sometimes it's like, he does this, but this one does that too. They're both equally measuring up to fill this seat. We can't decide. This is old school. This is Israelite. This is our culture. You let the Lord decide through war, right? But of course, you don't make those two men fight each other. They go to war in a different way, and you see who the Lord is with. That's how decisions are made in Israel. If it's not clear cut, if it's not a clear cut decision, you can't really tell who. People don't understand who it is. There's going to be conflict, and at the end of that conflict, you're going to see who the Lord is with, and who the Lord is with is who the decision goes or Israel goes with. So go ahead and read.
Verse 25. That he may take part of this ministry and apostleship, for which Judas by transgression fell, that he may go to his own place. Verse 26. And they gave forth their lots.
Right, and they gave forth their lots. Go ahead.
And the lot fell upon Mattathias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles.
Right, they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Mattathias, and he became 12. Right, now somebody hold for me. Somebody read for me Lot Bible Dictionary. You have it? Go ahead.
This is the Zondervan Van Compact Bible Dictionary. Lot, a means of deciding an issue or of determining the divine will in a matter.
Right, that's it. A meaning of deciding an issue or determining the divine will in a matter, meaning what the Lord wants. A lot is dice. It's a die, right? Or lots will be dice, which is plural. And you cast the lots. Lucky 7, come on. Come on. Go stand over there. You heavy, you heavy. You got you bringing a bad vibe over here. And you cast the lots. You get the point? You cast the lot. If it's a fair lot, wherever it lands where the Lord wanted to land. And if you bet the number the Lord wanted you to have the money. And he wanted him to be broke. Sometimes that's how it be. Sometimes the Lord wants you to be broke and another brother have the money. Right? You all ain't laughing too hard at that one. You all have me feeling like the Chris Rock special. You ain't laughing too hard, huh? You all must be broke. Broke ass niggas. Y'all ain't broke. Y'all rich. Y'all rich and wealthy. They broke. We done cast that lot early in the game and we won. We came up. Head crack. We done took everything. They're trying to take it from us now. That's why they can't leave us alone on them damn corners. Because we won that bet. Right? Casting lots is just an Israelite custom. This is how we do things. Right? If gambling is wrong, the Price is Right is illegal. It's a sin. If gambling is wrong, Jeopardy is a sin. If gambling is wrong, you should never go to an auction. You should never do nothing with chance. It's a game of chance. You should never do nothing. You shouldn't play rock, paper, scissors. Shouldn't do that. And that is I might as well cut my right hand off. That's all. That's a bonding thing with me and my children. I bond over that rock, paper, scissors, nigga. Wait till they introduce to your other shit. What the hell is this? This is hammer. It's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Get the point? Gambling is perfectly fine and normal, like taking a drink, like, you know, eating food, marrying a woman if you're a man, marrying a man if you're a woman, like anything. Excess of it is where the problem comes in. When you lose control, that's where the problem comes in. So who are they, Hannah? You?
Okay, now
Go ahead.
bingo. But...
Bingo. Shit, don't tell the old people that. Don't tell your mommy that. You know, bingo is a sin. They're gonna say, child, hush. And if you talk again, you're gonna get hit with that cane, and you're gonna know, well, you know, I better leave bingo alone because it's not a sin. I'm just telling it to you, right? Now, this is where the Christians get that gambling is a sin from. You mean Luke 22 and 34?
I got you.
Please.
Book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 34.
23. Salakia, you was right. 23.
23, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Everybody remember that, right? Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. Right? That old bastard Eddie Long said that same thing, and he was just being proud as hell. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. And they parted his raiment and cast lots.
Right? They parted his raiment and cast lots, meaning what? They took his clothes and divided it up amongst themselves, and they gambled over his clothes. Right? They gambled over his clothes. Why? Who knows why? Who is the they? No.
It's like the Roman soldiers.
The Roman soldiers. And they gambled over his clothes. Why? Go ahead.
They knew he was the anointed. Like,
Kinda. What do you mean?
like they knew Christ was they knew he was king of Israel.
If they knew he was king of Israel, they wouldn't have killed him.
Maybe it was a famous, like that's a top hit. A top.
That's what it was. This was a man with power. He was a black man with power. Just think that cop who took the picture of Tyree Nichols and sent it around. Just think your lynching stories where they, you know, cut the ear off or cut a man's genitals off. It's a trophy. It's a trophy kill. It's like, you know, taking a picture with the dead lion.
It's like so they did the same with Nat Turner when they killed him. They literally took his skin and made wallets
and sold it.
And sold it. Like every part of his body, they made memorabilia of it and made people pay for his body.
That's crazy. Something I was watching the other day where they is it the Germans or the Dutch? Where was is Napoleon? Not him. There was someone of them other killers. Is Napoleon Stalin?
Mussolini.
Not Mussolini. Who else?
I was saying the nationality when you were saying the name.
I forget the damn Leopold. This is Belgium or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was famous for slaughtering them Hamites, brother. I mean, I think he had more fun than. I mean, Leopold was doing some rough on them Hamites. If you go check out Leopold, brother, you know, being Israel, you're going to be like, damn, that's rough. Leopold was ridiculous on them Hamites, brother. I mean, he was cutting off limbs. I mean, regular amputations, regular shit. And he would make you wear your limb around your neck and take pictures and send it back to Belgium. So much so, in Belgium, they started making chocolates of hands, black little hands. Right? Not black, but Hamite hands. Of course, to them it's black. And selling it. And they had a phrase they would call it, and it's the phrase that Leopold said with these people. But they would sell these things, and children and everybody come and buy these little, you know, Hamite hands to eat. Right. Now imagine that. Imagine that. That's, once again, that's what you do. It's like taking a trophy. Go ahead.
There's something I wanted to make. Not trying to compare the brother that I'm about to talk to Christ at all.
Mm-hmm.
But but that the Roman soldiers, tearing clothes and selling them, bidding on them. Would that be kind of similar, like a few years ago when George Zimmerman was signing the Skittles in Arizona?
Yes. And it's done to us so much we don't really get it. We don't really get it. I'll tell you what it's directly similar to. It's directly similar to Zimmerman's auctioning that gun for $250,000. Right? He went and profited off of that gun. It's the same thing. It's the fame and the popularity of it. And they cast lots over Yahushai's clothes to see who get to take this, who get to take his headpiece, who get to take his belt, who get to take his sandals, who get to take, whatever, right? So they could go home and brag and show what they did. The Christians see this. Now, this is the evil thing they did because of who he was. The Christians see this and say the gambling was evil. The Christians would say gambling is evil and not the devils that did it was evil because God loves everybody. Let me gamble and let me hate the devil. You want me to love the oppressor and not gamble? That's a hard sell, boy. Them odds ain't hitting right now. I don't like all that song. That's where they get it from. There's a ton of scriptures in the Bible the Christians don't understand, and they invent laws to go with it. They invent sin to go with it. And if you don't, you never got it broken down, because you're young and you go in there and you're naive, you'll believe what they say. They'll tell you, man, that was an evil thing they did to Christ. They gambled over his clothes. Yes, there was an evil thing they did to him. That's why you shouldn't gamble. You brothers, you go and gamble, the rent money and this and that. They don't want you to gamble because they want double and triple tides and, pew fund and roof fund and the tree donations. That's what they want. You get the point? But gambling is not a sin. Go gamble, do whatever. Just pay your tithes first. Pay the tithes first. And if you hit, come back and see us. Pay the tithes again. Right? Just remember that. Go ahead.
And coming to the I.S.U.P.K, where you get to really see Israelite culture at its greatest. I remember in the Las Vegas cookout we had 2 years ago. The brothers, we always shooting dice. And being in the world, I always stayed away from dice games because I always knew there isn't really no winning in a dice game. So I stayed away
in the world.
In the world, right.
Mm-hmm.
In the UPK, we at the school shooting dice. My yacht came during my hammer watching. It was like it was fun. Like it was the first time where I ever seen brothers shoot dice,
and there'd be nothing.
It was nothing. Like brothers was losing money, and it was just like it's too hot.
Listen, you're gonna lose that money tonight, and you're gonna be drinking that money tomorrow. I'm trying to tell you, the same money you lost tonight, that brother gonna buy the most expensive bottle of Don Julio or Cavossier or Johnny Walker or whatever, and you're gonna just be drinking your money back. And here you have true freedom and a true nation. Ain't nobody gonna kill you over no goddamn dice. Ain't nobody gonna shoot you over no dice, no dominoes, no cards, no spades. I ain't hear one counsel about dice ever, or spades, or dominoes. Ever. I ain't even. What are they going to counsel for? Hey, Captain Shaq, we need in this council. It's never ever dice. It's never about that shit because that's it's pastime. It's fun. It's nothing. You feel how they say you feeling lucky today, right? You feeling lucky today. Translate that to Israelite language. The Lord with me today, because luck is what? No. Luck is a Greek god. So if I'm feeling lucky, I'm feeling this God is with me. That's what you're saying. This Greek God is with me. I feel lucky today. Man, listen, man, y'all want to see me today. The Lord with me, man. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, you don't believe me? Watch this. What did line on? What did line on? Didn't I tell your ass? Run it. In fact, keep it. I'll just double up. The Lord is with me today. That's Israel. You get the point? You got your hand up?
Like I said, I'm making me recall back when we had the cookout right here in what's the name, and I kept getting mad over the domino game. It's like home.
You was young, Ark. You was young in the truth, Ark. Don't worry about that. I forgive you. I forgive you, Ark. I forgive you. Look at my heart. You was young in the street, brother. You didn't know no better. You didn't know no better, and I didn't expect anything, more from you. Don't even worry about it. I forgive you for that. I forgive you. Jesus said, I forgive you. You don't understand the spirit of it. You didn't understand, we don't care. We don't give a damn. We play dominoes with leaves. We'd invent some shit with leaves and the brown of the leaf. And Israel invent something now. And Israel invent some game. My rib showed me some game, brother, where you drawing cards and there's shit black people say, and you got to figure this shit out. It's somebody black invent this shit. But it's like cards you drawing, and it would have these letters like "Get your black ass inside" something. Or the name of this. It'll give you the first few names of like black song. It's real black, blackity black shit, brother. Yes. So don't worry about that. Don't even worry about that. Forget about it. We're gonna play dominoes again sometime soon. All right. So what laughing? You know how the thing go. So what laughing? Yeah, I mean, we all was young and simple and stupid sometimes. We don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that shit. You don't understand the spirit behind it. That's the big thing. And the reason we don't understand the spirit behind it is because of the Christian church. The Christian church done took away our eyes to be spiritual. Done took away our will to be spiritual, our ears to hear things spiritually. Done took away our ability to understand the spirit behind things. We don't understand somebody not saying something. We don't understand when somebody does say something. We don't understand it. You get the point? That's a question. We good? Hold on. The sister who just took up about 30 minutes of my time, go pay for it right now. Tithes, go to ISUPK.com, pay your tithe, 10% of your last check. That last check you got, 10%. I don't want to hear nothing about no bills. Go pay 10%, and that tax money you got a couple of weeks ago that you're planning to go to Mexico with, you see what just happened? Go pay 10% of that too, all right? Shouldn't dice on that one. You think she's going to pay? Lord allow, Lord, if the Lord will it. All right. What else we have, Bukwash? Quickly. Somebody give me hold on. All right, go ahead.
JD Maldonado says, any thoughts on passport bros looking for better, more feminine abroad?
I'm glad you asked. I was coming back for passport bros this week for wrong too. However, in the 7 days since I last saw you on the internet, right? How the broad said on Beyonce's internet. On the 7 days since I last saw you on the internet, I had an encounter with a young woman of the female persuasion on the gritty streets of DC where the rats and roaches run. And it opened my eyes very much as to how badly deferred we are from who we are as a people. Where a woman in need is a woman who is absolutely out of control and acting like a dog in the streets. A woman who needs to be defended is a woman who you are correcting. She needs defending. And that's such a far cry from who we were as a people. Such a far cry. It's a heartbreaking thing. It's an absolutely heartbreaking thing. It's disheartening. And I decided tonight that the Lord must want me to talk about women tonight, because today is International Women's Day. Who would have thought? On the night I teach. Give the Lord a hand. I think I got to go to the casino tonight, huh? I think I got, I got to go up there and see what the black jacking or the jack blacking. One of the two. It's got to go some way or the other. So, what's the question? Oh, the passport brothers. So, tonight, I'm going to deal with part of the passport brothers, which is the reason, not the reason, but the reason they tell themselves they have to go get a passport, right? The reason the real reason they go get a passport to go get a woman is because they're weak. Passport brothers are absolutely weak. You ain't got no game. You're full of lust, and you like whores. Because you ain't getting a passport to go marry no lawyer. You ain't coming back here with, Brazil's nurse of the year. Right. Yeah, I mean, you ain't going. What's the nurse? You ain't going to go in Brazil and marrying the Brazilian Florence Nightingale. You ain't coming back with her. You going and marrying the sister on the beach who's destroyed, and who is voluntarily selling herself. right? She's selling herself, you know, and you being from America, you notice there's no other country that has passport bros. Is there passport bros from France? There's brothers in France, right? Is there passport bros in Vietnam? Is there brothers in Vietnam? Yes, I think so, from the World War, right? Is there passport bros in Vietnam? No. There's passport bros in America for one reason only. Because the American passport is the #1 passport in the world. When you start to travel, you realize that you need to get something called a visa to go into other countries. A visa is the other country. You have to go to their embassy and give them your name and your mother name and your father name and your mother maiden name and all the places you've lived and your employment and your bank statements and all type of shit. And they had to scrutinize you to see if they're going to give you permission to come into their country. Then you they approve you. Because nowadays everything is digital. So by the time they put all that information in, your whole file popping up. This is an embassy in whatever country you're in, to whatever foreign embassy of the country you go into. Everything pops up, and then they say, well, we can't give you a visa at this time, which is meaning I can't give you permission to come to France or come to England or wherever at this time, or America. Or, congratulations, your stuff will be processed. You'll receive your visa in X amount of days, and that's that. Congratulations to Yahanna, successfully went in there and said, give me my permission. I want it here now. And he'll be in the Lord's Passover this year, right? So that's the process. A visa is something is the other country giving you permission to come there. An American passport, there's not a country in the world that is going to reject an American passport. American passport could go damn near anywhere. Anywhere. There's these little apps that you could go and look up, or sites, and you put the type of passport you have, and they'll tell you every country you need to ask permission first before you go there, right? You from the West Indian Islands, Trinidad, Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba. Just know you're going to ask everybody because nobody wants you. You get the point? Some man from America, that passport has power. They want you to come there. England has a very high passport. I believe America is higher than them now. England has a very high passport. Who else? I think that might be the top two. Everybody else is kind of border, right? Go ahead. I ain't sure. You could look it up. But those countries, you could go, you know, yeah, you're welcome. You don't need to ask permission. So the passport, brother, is really riding on the reputation of America being great, the land of the dreams, and also their weakness of not being able to subdue the evil spirit that is bitch in abroad. So now, rather than do that, they go get a passport, they take the white man's reputation and go to a foreign country where the white man's reputation is humongous. And they seduce some woman who is destroyed and probably a prostitute to marry them. And then they make little videos and TikToks of her showing what they paid for. You get the point? Now, passport brothers are telling themselves they have to get passports to go get these wives because the black woman in America is too westernized and she's too uncontrollable and she's too this and she's too that. So they go get a passport for that reason. In the UPK, if they are too this, what are you? Oh, God damn, give him a hand. I was going to say to that. You was like, even more that. That's what you do, brother. That's what you do. You're going to have to go to war with it, brother. You're going to have to go to war with it. You're going to have to go to war. Like, what I don't understand. Okay, I do understand it. Let me don't say that. The life we live is such a fed life. It's like an animal in a circus. You get your food delivered to you. You don't have to do nothing. You just show up. and you get your food. Unfortunately, for some brothers, that's how they want a wife. They just want to show up. I'm here. Penis is here now. It's here. You're supposed to. You're supposed to. That's not how this thing works. That's absolutely not how this thing works. You're gonna have to show some, testicular fortitude, right? You're gonna have to show some testicular fortitude, otherwise known as dogs. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to set a standard that she gonna have to meet. You're gonna have to also go see the standard she comes from. Y'all go meet her family, go meet her father, man. If she don't have no father, well, where is he? Maybe you still go talk to him. She may not have a relationship with him, but you go tell him, hey, listen, man, I'm about to marry your daughter. I just thought you'd like to know the brother who's marrying your daughter. He might respect that, right? You want to do to him what you would want somebody to do to you when you have girl children. You would want that same thing. Now, because of living under this oppressor, we've been through several policies of the oppressor, right? And one of those things have destroyed the black household, namely civil rights, and then the women's liberation movement, right? They have destroyed the black household. And a lot of households today, the vast majority of it is single mother households. Now, we've seen the result of single mother households when it comes to young black men, right? The prison system is filled up of over 2 million black men incarcerated. Not all of those brothers are guilty. Not all of those brothers are criminals. Some of those brothers are, just regular brothers, wrong place, wrong time. Some of those brothers made the wrong decision. Some of those brothers entered into criminal enterprise and they got there. All of them were preyed on by the oppressor. That's a fact. They were preyed on and targeted by the oppressor. Over 90% of those brothers come from a single mother home. The statistics of graduating high school, progressing to college, becoming a semi-professional athlete. And when I say semi-professional, I'm talking about from the stage of college. Because even before this NIL thing that they signed, right? Even 10 years ago, you go to play college sports, you're basically a professional. You're signing a letter of intent. You're agreeing to show up for practice. You're agreeing to maintain this. You're really a professional at that point, right? Every college athlete is damn near semi-professional. All those chances increased with the presence of a male in the young life or the adolescent life of a boy or girl, right? That's the statistical facts of it. Without that, you have a higher chance of failure of high school, college, really achieving anything. Achievement really naturally comes from a man. And it comes from a man because to achieve anything, you're going to have to be angry about something. And if you're not angry about nothing, you're not going to achieve nothing. You're not going to put in the work it takes to be on top of it, or to succeed, or to dominate. You're going to have to go to war. That spirit comes from a man. A woman is there to nurture, to coddle, to restore your health, to restore your spirit if it's broken. But when it comes to taking your spirit from here to making something, to doing something, to achieving, you're going to need a man. You're going to need a man who could let you know you're going to have to go through that storm. You're going to have to, yeah, it's cold. Go catch that bus. Go do that shit. Go do this. No, you're going to stay on that job. You're not quitting. You're going to stay on that, or you're going to quit. Move out. You're going to need that. You don't need the empty threats of mommy. You need your father to say it once, and you try him, and your luggage is by the door. And he expects you to leave. That's what you need. And that's going to make you into a different human being, a better human being. Now, of course, we done lost that aspect because we're under this oppressor. And today we have homes that are ran by women who is both mommy and daddy. They have a ridiculous, overwhelming feminine spirit, which is dangerous to have. is they as the ruling spirit. A feminine spirit is a very dangerous spirit to have as the ruling spirit in anything. It's just too emotional. It's too unstable, right? And we've lost that that aspect in our home. So now today is supposed to be International Women's Day, right? There's a United Nations article. Somebody look it up, right? International Women's Day. Or I could send it to somebody. Or what? I could send it to you. Okay, I think there was something. Go ahead. All right, I think the first part of it says History of Women's Day. Please.
History of Women's Day. International Women's Day is celebrated in many countries around the world. It is a day when women are recognized for their achievements without regard to divisions, whether national, ethnic, linguistic, cultural, economic, or political. Since those early years, International Women's Day has assumed a new global dimension for women in developed and developing countries alike. The growing international women's movement, which has been strengthened by 4 global United Nations women's conferences, has helped make the commemoration a rallying point to build support for women's rights and participation in the political and economic arenas. We invite you to learn about the history of women's rights and the UN's contribution to the cause.
Right, so they're basically saying this is a whole thing that they came together that's now backed by the United Nations. And that's a very strong and powerful position to have, right? The United Nations backing in means that, you know, you're going to have certain favor in different countries. You're going to have certain favors to move, to push through that movement, push through that spirit in those countries, right? Let's get some of where it started, right? Go ahead.
First key years of the movement, officially recognized by the United Nations in 1977. International Women's Day first emerged from the activities of labor movements at the turn of the 20th century in North America and across Europe.
Right. So in 1977, it was officially recognized, right? Just remember, 77 is after 64 is Roe v. Wade was 64. Then 69, I think they overturned it shortly. Then 73, they had another thing with Roe v. Wade. All this is right at the cusp in the range of civil rights movement and women's liberation movement. It was recognized in 1977, not because it was valid, but because women had been mobilized so much, they started looking at women's economic power. That's really what any sort of women's movement, when it's being considered, that's what's being considered. The women's movement is really considered just like the LGBTQ movement. The LGBTQ movement is considered and passed and legislated and allowed to do whatever today because they have tremendous economic power. And if you don't allow them to have a movement, you're really losing money. Women are a large part or percentage of consumers in any society. Damn near all commercials today are geared towards women. Damn near all. Damn near every single one. When next you watch the TV, I'm not cable, well, maybe cable, but TV. Just watch every commercial and see who they're really talking to. They're definitely not talking to her brother. They're talking to Eve because she is naive. She's able to be seduced. You understand? She's able to, be pulled in. She's able to be, manipulated because she is more emotional than you are. You get the point? That's her disposition. And it's not evil. It's not an evil disposition that she's that emotional. However, when she's that emotional and given a position of power, that's the problem. That's the problem. She is emotional, She has the right to be emotional. The Lord made her like that so she could care for you. Her heart could bleed for you and the children, like them two sisters in Exodus, Pua and Sephora. Right? Her heart could bleed for you. She could be broken if you're broken. You know what I mean? She could be right there to help mend you back. However, when power is assigned to that, being emotional and having power is definitely two things that can't go together, because having power, you're going to have to make decisions that don't feel good. It rarely ever do feel good, but you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to enforce it, and you can't come off of it, and you can't have emotions for that part. A man and a woman were supposed to be together as one for that particular reason. She's emotional so she can tend to when he needs that part of her. He is unemotional or less emotional and has authority because she is going to be told when to stop. When to stop talking, when to stop whining, when to stop being weak, to stop making excuses, when to stop being just, regular. She's going to have to, without him telling her that, the high standard that she thinks she has is only in her mind. And it comes from the oppressor. It comes from the oppressor. The oppressor tells her standard is high, and she thinks her standard is high, and she's a high quality person, and she's a good person, or she has a good character, until she comes across the Israelite school of UPK. And she realizes, like most brothers in the world, you think you're the man. You think you're strong. You think you got it together. And that first day at Hebrew Academy is the last day you come to the school. I've seen this shit. I've seen this shit happen. I've seen it personally. I've vouched for a brother. Really begged for him. I didn't vouch for him. I went and begged because I knew this cat in the world. And every Hebrew Academy, brother, his shoulders got lower and lower. I mean, it's like his shoulders was by his hips, but he was just. And then he said this to me. He's like, "We doing some drill with the not the punching bag, the one where you're holding the, you know what I'm talking about, the pads, right? The hitting pads. And we in line and just keeping warm because it's cold and shit. That year we train in the blizzard." And he looked at me and he said, what y'all doing here, y'all could really, for the TikTokers, on the live people. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then I glanced over, and you could feel somebody's eyes ain't come off in. And I glanced over and I realized he's scared of that. He's fully scared of that. He ain't here. He ain't here. Right? You realize the UPK has a standard that's way above the standard of this world. And it could seem like a brick wall has fell on you. And it should feel like that. And what you should take from it is not the wall is rough or it's unfortunate that the wall fell, but that you are weak. That's what you should take from it. You should take from it that I'm too weak for this. This thing here, I should be able to stand on it, but this thing is tearing me up. It's tearing up your Christianity. It's tearing up your Islam. It's tearing up your college degrees. It's tearing up whether you're some celebrated politician, whether you're some imam. And I'm just calling things that people we done battled on the street, battled in debates, battled on some radio station. It rocks this world to the core. And our sisters have been made so weak through being married to this world, married to the spirit of this world, the way of this world, the standard of this world. And it's a very, 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 very low standard. You understand? Let me read on a little bit more. Go ahead and pick it up about.
The first National Women's Day was observed in the United States on the 28th of February.
Mm-hmm.
The Socialist Party of America designated this day in honor of the 1908 garment workers' strike. in New York, where women protested against working conditions. But the first milestone in the U.S. was much earlier in 1848.
In 1848, that's when the first milestone was. I ain't got to tell you. Right? You could damn near guess where this is going. Right? The 1908, was it? 08? 1908, some broads in New York protest for, working conditions in some garment factory, whatever. Right? 1977 is when it was officially recognized by the United Nations. Right? Up till this day, United Nations is not recognizing what's going on in Flint, Michigan, what happened in Mississippi earlier, nor what's been happening to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and women in America for the past 200 years. United Nations ain't recognizing that, but this is recognized in the United Nations. Right? Keep going.
Indignant over women being.
You start again from the top, but the first.
But the first milestone in U.S. was much earlier in 1848. Indignant over women being barred from speaking at an anti-slavery convention. Americans Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott congregate a few hundred people at their nation's first women's rights convention in New York. Together, they demand civil, social, political, and religious rights for women in the Declaration of Sentiments and Resolutions. A movement is born.
Who could break it down? Read it one more time.
But the first milestone in U.S. was much earlier in 1848. Indignant over women being barred from speaking at an anti-slavery convention, Americans Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott congregate a few hundred people at their nation's first women's rights convention in New York. Together, they demand civil, social, political, and religious rights for women in a Declaration of Sentiments and Resolutions. A movement is born.
What was happening?
Women were asking for equality to be heard and decisions to be made jointly.
Okay. Chapat?
They were doing that on the backs of another movement, which is like anti-slavery movement.
I'll take that. What else?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like the movement wasn't. It was the white women's movement. It wasn't really born or really didn't have any power until Black women joined it.
Well, it didn't say they joined it because it's anti-slavery, so slavery was still going on. You get the point? But you answered.
I think this almost sounds like a precursor on getting ready to start killing our babies.
Oh, well, that would come later on. But for this part, it's more so what the two brothers said earlier. They was having this movement for basically women's rights and women's liberation. Who's to say what the working conditions were for these oppressors' daughters? These was white women, right? Who's to say what the working conditions were? I don't know. But maybe the conditions was really for a man to work. These is white women protesting working conditions. The milestone really hit when they wanted to go speak at an anti-slavery meetings. Because tied to the oppressor's movements and what he wants to do is always on the backs of our oppression. They ride our backs until they get whatever they want achieved, and then they leave us high and dry, and we never ever get to benefit from whatever they fought for. You get the point? This thing here, they made the milestone with the anti-slavery thing and ramped it up all the way till 1908 when they did this, and all the way through protesting and doing this and doing that. But this is a white woman's movement. This is not Black and Hispanic women at all. This is white women's movement. Now add that to Shalom, one great. I can call you back on teaching class. Right? add that to your civil rights movement that's been moving and your women's liberation movement. Now you see where today the single demographic that benefited the most from civil rights was the white American woman. Not black woman, not Hispanic, not a Native Indian woman. White American woman. Right? All this has roots in the whole barefoot and pregnant stuff, the whole Mother's Day thing. All that is ramping up because they wanted to be free of their man. That's really the root of it. They wanted to be free of their man, to be able to run things and do things and have power. They seduced our women to be part of their movement. And the bigger danger is not just being part of the movement, but internalizing their ideology and making it part of how they think, how they philosophize. The decisions our sisters make is really from the perspective of the oppressor and not from the perspective of our people. We don't even have that type of culture. So now today you would find that when you are a man, you're trying to build with a sister, a family, a nation, you're trying to organize something, there's always going to be a pushback of, you can't tell me what to do. You don't have that authority over me because she's following after Elizabeth, what's her name? Cody Stanton, and what's the other one? Lucretia. I don't know how white of a name that could be. That's about the whitest name you could have next to Caesar Borgia. Lucretia Mott. You're really following after that because you don't see yourself as part of us. You see yourself as part of them. And part of them is being able to rebel and start some shit, and we would start the fire. They want to be that thing. You get the point? And that's a very dangerous thing to have in our sisters because it's not coming together for our benefit. It's coming together so they have America's freedom. And America's freedom is destroying our women. Go ahead.
That sounds like a same thing that Officer Kazak was talking about in class yesterday. They picked up that shield, so that's why they're thinking that they're the same people now.
Exactly.
What?
No, go ahead.
Well, that was it, sir.
Yeah, that's it. All right. And that thing, okay, as a man, you should fight that thing. You should not give up on it. You should not let go of it. Because what's on the other side of that battle, brother, it's an amazing thing. And I'm going to give you, there's two things that's going to come out on the other side of that battle. You either are going to escape a woman that's going to destroy your life, or you're going to get a beautiful daughter of Zion that's going to enhance your life. One of the two. You're going to win either way. But you're not going to win if you buy a passport and go chase an easy tail. You're not going to win like that. You're not going to win just, picking low-hanging fruit, man. Say no sometimes. Say la. Make, that yes come from you. Got to be like, what? Who said yes? To who? Bukwash said yes to who? I want to see her. You have a picture of her? You got to have that type of reputation. Have that type of reputation that you don't just go after any and anybody. And guess what I would do? That would make the sisters raise their standard. Because, like it or not, she is a pick-me. It's in her spirit to be pick-me. You have young daughters. They do some little thing. They want to come show you. One come show you something on the paper. Guess what the other's going to do? Draw some shit too. And come show you this thing too. And that's a good spirit to have in a sister because she is giving over every ounce of validation to somebody else. And a sister needs that thing. You cannot validate yourself, sis. You're not stable to do it. And that's what happened at camp on Saturday. I know you brothers saw it. You can't validate yourself. You can't do it. Somebody needs to tell you, excellent job, sis. Or somebody needs to tell you when your shit stink. Excuse me, language. Somebody needs to point it out to you, or else you're going to destroy yourself. You understand? So let's get some precepts on this thing here, all right? If anybody find anything more on the pertinent on the Women's Day, just let me know. Give me Revelations 2 and 20. Let's start there. Let's write these down quick. We'll be a little bit over the time. You'll just bear with me a little bit, all right? Give me Revelations 2 and 20. Whoever have it read.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess.
Give me 1 Timothy 2, 11 and 12.
To teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols.
Right. Read one more time.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication.
If I could, because just read that last comment there from Facebook. Angelo something Muolo.
It's from Angelo J. Muolo Jr. Mm-hmm. These all started with bored, rich socialite wives of high society and their friends, some high middle-class women. They just wanted to have an opinion. They just want to have an opinion beyond their tea rooms. Not that they didn't mean well, but they just hated sitting silent while their husbands spoke politics in the other room and were told women to be quiet.
If they meant well, what would they have done? No, not in this case. He said not that they didn't mean well. Even that, you had to get that out your system. Anybody knows what? Not that they didn't mean well. Anybody knows what that is?
You're really not trying to bash or call it.
He's sprinkling some seasoning on the chicken. I recently discovered sriracha sauce. I put that shit on everything, bro. That's sriracha sauce. I don't know, brother. I probably would be under a rock, but goddamn, put that shit in water. Sriracha sauce is like that. Salakia. But you really ain't want to offend them too much. Not that they didn't mean well. They did not mean well. They were just selfish. They felt left out. They felt ostracized. They felt less. They felt stupid. And that's because you're married to a white man. That's your man. I mean, I can't help you with that shit. That's your husband. You get the point? And that's how he treats you. If they meant well, this is what they would have done. I'm going to paraphrase for time's sake too. The sister Deborah in the Bible, she had a dream, a vision from the Lord. Did she go out and start teaching Israel? What did she do? Not just a man. She went and told her husband. I believe, who was that? Barak? She went and told her husband what the vision was. And he was able to realize this was from the Lord, and he went and told everybody what it was. If she meant well, she would go to her husband. That's the first thing you have to understand as a sister. If you mean well, go to your husband. Your husband replaces your father, which is why this thing today is so difficult, having rule over your house as a brother in the world. You're essentially taking a sister who doesn't have a father. That's why that joke the comedian make that I referred to earlier, where he met the sister in the store and he heard her say, "Bye, Dad." And he said, "You call your man Dad?" And she's like, "No, I'm really talking to my father." And he got turned off. Because if she has a father, guess what, Negro? You had to raise your standard because you have to replace him. When she ain't got no father, who you going to replace? Casper? There's nobody to replace, so you could do whatever the hell you want. If she ain't got no head over her, brother, you probably might want to pump your brakes a little bit. Might want to pump your brakes. Because she don't have a head over her to do what? Transfer authority over to you. You go buy a car, right? The title is with the car dealership. You buy the car, they have to do what? They have to do something called a transfer. You got to take that title and carry it into the MVA and pay the taxes, and they give you back a title with your name on it. That's what happens when you take a wife out. You're going to have to get the permission. You're going to have to get that from the father, and he's going to look at his daughter and it's like, listen, this brother here, check him out. He's going to take it here from me. I'm going to always be here from you, but he's your head now. And later that night, she called you daddy. She called her daddy and tell her old daddy about the new daddy. It sounds weird, right? Today it sounds weird, but that's really what's happening. Now today you're not gonna. She ain't grew up with that authority. So when you get her, you're going to have to do some extra work. You're gonna have to do some extra maintenance, and that's really what it is. This thing here he talking about is right for them. That's not our story. How do I know it's not our story? Our sisters wasn't sitting around in tea rooms gossiping about their opinions. What was our sisters doing? Being wet nurses, cleaning the houses, doing the laundry, looking after the kids, working on the farms, hustling. Our women didn't have their life, but our women took a part of their struggle, though. You understand? Took a part of their struggle and now don't internalize that ideology. That's why it's so evil. It's satanic. It's damn near witchcraft. It's stronger than Christianity. And today in America, there's only one person there's two people you can't offend in America. Or one you really can't offend, which is the so-called Jewish man. You're not allowed to offend him. Right after him is the woman, namely the black woman. You cannot offend her in America. You can't tell her she's wrong. Nobody would tell Lizzo and her long ass crack to sit down. Nobody would tell her, go put some clothes on, go on a diet, go in the gym, or just dress nice, man. That Jill Scott, she was a heavy sister too. She wasn't like that. Jill Scott was bad, man. Goddamn. But I see some article, Lizzo half naked. And they say Lizzo stunned. I'm like, why are you lying to these women, man? Tell them the truth. Don't lie to her. Tell her the truth. You look horrible, woman. You look horrible. You look stupid. Go ahead.
Because she got a man now, but
she ain't got a man, brother.
For the past 2 years,
she ain't got a man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
In the past 2-3 years, she will always. It's that fake confidence. She'd be confident in the camera, and then when she go live on Instagram,
she's crying.
Start crying.
She's depressed.
She start crying, and like, yeah, I'm fine.
And as soon as the Instagram live go off, she go eat $2 of KFC. Yeah. Because it helps her with her depression. No, we're making light of it, but that's what's going on with her. I ain't trying to get too much into her. Like, it's not about her, but I'm just using it as an example. Like, nobody's telling these women they're wrong. Nobody's telling them you can't do that. You shouldn't do this. And okay, you have to do it because a woman's feelings is very, very strong. It's strong. And it's good to have strong feelings. You need it to deliver that baby. Like the sisters who was lively in Exodus, right? These women are not like the Egyptian women. These are lively women. They got that strong spirit, that feeling. A sister, if she feels she could fly, brother, you guarantee her she gonna be in the sky like this. She gonna find a way to do it. She has that amount of drive in her. What you have to do, brother, is get that under you. You're gonna have to get that under you. And everybody hearing me, all the women hearing me saying this is gonna say, what does he mean get that under him? He trying to oppress us. He trying to do this. No, I'm trying to bring you in a zone where you could really flourish.
That's right.
But you don't understand it because you're so, you're so free. That's the best way to put it. I can't say Americanized. I can't say Westernized. You're so free. You're that free that everything to you sounds like chains. Every single thing to you sounds like shackles and chains when it's not. You get the point? Where was that?
Revelation chapter 2, verse 20.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
That was outstanding. I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servant to commit fornication and eat things sacrificed unto idols.
What is that saying? Break it down.
It sounds like and somebody had some. This one of the second schools.
This is the angel. This is one of the angels checking the schools that Paul built. One of the 7 schools, which is the 7 candlesticks. Each candlestick represents one of the schools that Paul built. This angel is checking the school. Go ahead.
It seemed like one of the schools gave power to a woman to let her teach.
Mm-hmm.
When the scripture, the law is that she should not teach. And called men to commit fornication. And to eat go against both sides. Eat things that sacrifice to the idol.
Right. Now you would find different parts of this where it happened in the Bible with Jezebel, that spirit Jezebel. It's saying it here, right? It's called Jezebel, right? Right. That woman Jezebel. Okay, it's referring to that Jezebel, which was that heathen queen who that brother married and brought to rule over Israel. And that spirit effeminized the men. It took away the brother's masculinity. Here, and what it's saying is, you let that spirit back into the school. It may not be a literal woman in charge, but you could have that, not masculine spirit. That spirit that's not authority. You don't want the responsibility. You don't want authority over nothing. You don't want to do the work that needed to correct anything. You get the point? And that's the Christian spirit. That's the Muslims. That's everybody who is commenting on that video. You're wrong. I'm gonna see you all got the wrong one. She should have did this. She should have did that. When has it become acceptable to disagree with somebody and proceed to wreck everything? Are you a white man? That's what white men do. White men disagree with the North, disagreed with the South, and went to burn it down. America disagreed with Tulsa, Oklahoma, and burnt it down. East Germany and West Germany burnt it down. Since when you get a license to disagree with somebody, and that empowers you now to go to hell off, and just start doing everything that comes to your mind, and not expect nobody to correct you anyway. Come on, I'm coming to you, bro. I'm glad you said that. It's extremely childish. And you know why it's childish? Because the father ain't in the house. The father ain't in the house to make her not be childish no more. The father ain't in the house to put that weight on her shoulder. Not the weight to depress her, but there's a weight you need to grow up with if you're going to be sober-minded, if you're going to be, grave and deep, or, of good character. There's a weight that needs to be put on you. That's just how it is. Like the young brother in the beginning of the class, he said his mother and his aunt say, you don't smile no more. You don't celebrate your birthdays and laugh about, because he ain't silly no more. You understand? A father provides that type of weight. Without a father providing that weight, Kim Kardashian gonna have Kanye's daughter dressing like a hoe. Mocking some old girl named I.S.U.P.K. I don't know what the hell your brother see in that girl. Salaki. That bro there, brother. Go ahead. Tell me, because I ain't seeing it. I ain't seeing it. I can't see it. I can't see it. Come on, help me out. I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling her. I think she's go ahead. I think she's absolutely overrated. And okay, this is what they're doing to this girl. They're forcing the sexualization of her. This is what they do to everybody. But now, back to Kanye's daughter. See how silly she is. Because ain't nobody in the house telling her, you dress like a hoe. Daddy, what's a hoe? And you start to explain that shit. You're acting like a bitch. Stop doing that. You're acting like a bitch. What's bitch? They don't know it. but they know it bad. Something in a woman's spirit, Salaki says. Something in a woman's spirit is that shit hit the bone arc. It hits the central nervous system. That them words, and you need to use it wisely. It helps curb her behavior. It helps curb it, and you need to curb that thing because without it, you'll have some woman with your children trying to fight grown men on the street for whatever reason. It does not matter. There's absolutely no reason for that. There's no reason on the earth. And this is how I know she has no power over her. At not one point did she say, I'm a corner man. It don't even have to be the baby father anymore. It could be a man. And not one point. One, because she don't have one. Two, because to call a man would mean what? Come on.
That it's her now admitting that she's weak or that she's somebody's over.
Yes. To be able to call a man a sister is saying, I'm under his authority. Like, I'm going to call the cops. When the cops show up, they in charge. I'm going to listen to them and I'm going to make them tell you what to do. She is willing to do that. But to be under a brother, and it's such a catch-22. It's like a cycle. She would have been able to call a man if she had one. But if she had a man, she wouldn't need to call him because she wouldn't have been acting like that. And she would have been able to call a man. It's a full-out cycle. And that's why she got so goddamn mad, because being in the Israelite school at UPK, we see that demon so many times. And really it is she doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have a man. She doesn't have nobody to tell her shut her mouth. She doesn't have nobody to tell her stop doing that. It'd be reckless to call her a bitch. She doesn't have that, brother. And that shit saves lives. That shit saves lives. It corrects lives. It's help. It's help that she did not have. The problem is half of the internet don't want her to get the help. And I didn't say all women are bitches. I said her. But somehow you all resonating with that. Maybe because you a bitch too. Maybe because everything that was said, you done did to some brother. You done did to some man. You done training your daughters to do the same thing. You don't want correction. You want to be able to wreck everything and run amok. Not wherever the UPK is. I could tell you that. There's the UPK's masculinity. It's toxic masculinity. It will kill you. It will kill that thing in you. That demon that's in you, it will destroy it. And sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need it. We don't beat women in here. We don't abuse women in here. But we're going to tell you the truth, man. We're going to tell you when you do well. We're going to tell you when you look well. You're going to know that. But we also going to tell you when you're a nasty bitch. When you're going to stop being a goddamn bitch so much. Shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. We're going to explain that to you. Sometimes you're going to have to get loud. Sometimes you're going to have to get a little fierce with it. If you grew up with a daddy, you would learn that. If you grew up with a father in the house, don't be mad at me. Go be mad at your mother. Come on, because I come to you, bro.
What you said is so heavy. And okay, we've been robbed of this. Like you said, sir, if you grew up with a father, even if he was a weak father, you can understand that there's times where it's just absolutely necessary. And it's like, I remember watching my pops and my mom go at it. You understand? It's like, as a kid, you thinking like, you know, why? For some reason, you always, the father's the villain. Why he just can't let her be?
Because mommy is soft and nice, and mommy has things that is comfortable for you.
Right.
And she's supposed to be like that. Right. She's supposed to be like that. However, mommy ain't always right. And that's the dangerous part of it. But go ahead.
And so, like, I'm glad to see that example and then come to the truth and just reaffirming that it's like it's okay to check a woman. Like it's so sad that it's why sisters are destroyed. Because brothers really are so weak to call it for what it is. You understand? It's like if that's what you are and that's how you conduct yourself, God calls you a bitch. You understand? According to the scriptures, that you're shameless like this woman. According to God, this is what you are.
That's really it. And you're gonna have to be prepared to stand on it if you had to go there. Right. You're gonna have to stand on it because you're not gonna get the support like she got.
Right.
You understand? You ain't gonna get that support. You're gonna be, enemy number one. Go ahead, bro.
No, TikTok messing with us tonight. They still love that. That there was a question on there from.
Well, like once again, Barack's sticking up for Ice Spice.
I'm saying
I'm just saying they're gonna get support that you ain't going, I ain't gonna get. That's all I'm gonna say. There's gonna be some sisters in the Passover this year, white corsages. I'm gonna put that heifer to shame. That girl ain't got, y'all acting slucky. Go ahead. Like what you like, like what you like. Like what you like. I like, Johnny Walker. You like Jack Daniels. It ain't a sin. Roll the dice, brother. Get it on. I pray I Spice slides in your DMs. if one person gonna get her right, it's Barack. I'm trying to tell you. Barack gonna make that bitch seem smooth. He gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? You're a bitch. You know? And she gonna be like, yes, daddy, I am. You are right. And that's it. Go ahead, but go ahead quickly.
On the question from Israel said, what if your father passes?
I don't understand what that has to do with anything.
No, when you was talking about the because you didn't have a dad, or because you didn't have a dad in the house, you would have learned that or something like that. She said, what if your father passed?
If your father passed, this is not directed at you. Okay, just to be clear, what happened on Saturday was not a stab at women who didn't have fathers. It was a stab at women who think it's okay to act like that. That's what that is. Many women did not have fathers. Many brothers did not have fathers. That doesn't mean anything. That's beyond your control. What is your control is I will not be a dog in the streets. I'll not be a goddamn menace to society. I could be better than that. You get the point? That's what could be. This is not a stab at that. Don't miss. Okay, and the reason most sisters is misunderstanding what happened is because women tend to always band together regardless of what's going on. And it's a demon that is really misery loves company. It's not, you're not banding together to stop abortion. You're not banding together to, tell her don't leave her man. You're always band together when it's misery going on. And you want things to be more miserable. And as soon as you'll separate from each other, you'll start talking about each other. It's a ton of fake love. What's real love is somebody who's going to tell you when your shit stinks. That's real love, somebody who is going to correct you. So if your father passed, my condolences, this has nothing to do with that. There's women who have fathers and men who have fathers and still act like that in the street. You get the point? Go ahead.
There's a comment online that says from Devin Ewing says, I need to join this brotherhood inbox.
Okay, well, we don't inbox you, brother, because we wouldn't be a brotherhood if we did that. We'd be the IUIC. They inbox. In fact, they don't inbox. They ain't in no box. They in something else. But okay, what's his name? Devin Ewing. Just type in the city you're in. We have a UPK school right there for you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, whatever city you're in, we right there with you. Come on. No sweat. Yeah, let's get back to that. Give me 1 Timothy. We're gonna run down a few precepts and then we're done.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Read it again.
Let the woman learn in silence.
Let the woman learn in silence. Yeah, stop there. That's profound. Say it one more time.
Let the woman learn in silence.
Let the woman learn in silence. There's a reason this is recorded in the Bible, because women were learning not in silence, which means you learn nothing at all. You can't learn nothing if you're not quiet. You understand? Teaching could be going on, but you ain't receiving shit. You get it? It's like, Barack, did I come to you? What's your point? No sweat. Go ahead.
Come. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority.
I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. To teach what? To teach the Bible, right? Or to have authority over a man in things the Lord said she can't have authority over him in. Now, let the woman learn in silence. What does that mean? Does that mean she just had to sit there and shut her mouth?
That means that whatever she wants to know, she will ask her husband.
Or whatever she would want to know, she asks. Or what she wants to say, she can say it. But once again, Israel versus the oppressor. Learning in silence, the oppressor reads that. What does that mean to the oppressor?
The oppressor will take it literally and just say that she's just supposed to sit there and don't say anything.
Like the dude said on the internet, where they're supposed to, there was any tea parties and they had to shut their mouth, right? To the oppressor, it just means just a woman is to be seen and not heard. Children is to be seen and not heard. You ever heard that shit? That's not us. You get the point? When it says she's to learn in silence, it means what?
She's not coming and try to teach, you know.
What would be her trying to teach?
Trying to take authority over top of the teacher.
So if I was to see it, okay, don't think teacher, just think normal for now. What would I see when I see it?
Somebody like Juanita Bynum trying to teach the scripture.
Not we ain't running into Juanita Bynum all the time. Go ahead.
What we say Saturday. Of course, that would be more the extreme, more so. But what about this? Or, but what if? Can a woman have?
No. Listen, this is another thing to think about. Not all the time she's going to be that amped up.
Right.
So what will I see? No, I'm just saying. If you see it, you was right on it, right? Just for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead. You'll be seeing the arguing. That arguing back is not a you right, you wrong, and I'm right. That arguing is jostling for power. That's what that is. It's like a child arguing back with you, and I hate to even say it, but that's really what it is. A sister that is not in the right spirit is just like a big child. She's just a big, 5'8" child. And just like a child, when a child gets angry, what do? Throw the phone, push the damn thing down, kick the shoes off, and slide on the floor and all that shit. You remember them days? Yep. Some of y'all lean back here like, yeah, I used to do that shit. That's a child. And what you saw Saturday was a child. Was a child that couldn't help herself. She was a child that needed a father to tell her, shut your mouth and go home. Shut your mouth and go home. Everybody who is against what the UPK did will be fathers to the nation, but you ain't going to like when daddy come home. I'm going to tell you that straight. You're not going to like it, but it's going to make you better. It's going to make you better. That sister endangered her child. Earlier that day, we had some crazy lunatic out there. I had to step out and check him. He was high on something, but he was attacking everybody. He was attacking. People come up and get flyers. He's slapping the flyers out their hand. Damn near assaulting people in front of the camp. I had to go out and step to him and check him. Now, what if he was there while she was doing that thing? He'd have punched her. Knocked her the hell out. He's not with us. That's not what we about. But you walking amongst grown men, you don't understand. You're not one of us. You're not a man. Carry yourself different. Anything could have happened to you out there. You got arrested. Now the child is in CPS. Is that my fault? That's your fault. You have a child, man. You have a man's child. That's the other thing. You women who have children, that child is not yours. The man lent you seed. He put seed in your stomach to hold for a while. That's his child. Take care of his property. If you honor him, if you respect him, that's missing from us. And you can't tell nobody nothing. Let her learn in silence. Let's keep going real quick out.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
But to be in silence, meaning what? Not having that combative spirit against the word of the Lord. Not having that combative spirit against the truth. Now, of course, if your husband trying to tell you, strap this to your belly, you're pregnant, and you're going to carry these bags of whatever, over to Mexico for me. Don't do that. Of course not. But somebody telling you, shut your mouth, you're wrong for what you're doing, X, Y, Z, you probably might want to listen. It might save your life. Somebody telling you how to dress, what to eat, what not to eat, you might want to yield and listen. But of course, it's hard for you to even accept that because of how you grow, which is why you need to come into the Israelite school at ISUPK. Come sit in class and stay quiet and shut your mouth, and you're gonna be better for it. Right. All right. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 26. And start at 14.
Brother said he's from Janesville, Milwaukee. I gave him Janesville, Wisconsin. I gave him Milwaukee.
That's fine. And you could also put Chicago's number up in there too. Carefully, huh? All right.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
A silent and loving woman is a gift
Mm-hmm.
of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. So, of course, brother, if that's not what you're experiencing, whether it's a sister, your wife, whatever, just understand that's not of the Lord. Go ahead.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Brother, that is, one of the coldest precepts I've ever read. There's nothing worth more than a mind that's well instructed, that was well taught and trained up and could receive instructions well. There's nothing worth more than that thing there. And our sisters are capable of it because you don't go do that on the slavery. You don't go do it. Somehow you're able to control that demon on the slave, right? Because you call your husband and tell him how much you wanted to curse this person out and blah, 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 and just getting on my goddamn nerves, and you talking with the full old, old nigga voice. And then I gotta go. Clicks, and you code switch right back. So you full well capable of controlling that thing in you. But somehow, when the oppressor is not around, you think you have license to run free. You're going to see some authority in black men in the future. Let me tell you straight up and down. Brothers should not be afraid of it. That's why brothers walk away on Saturday. Because like you should have seen it. A brother came up and said, just listen to what she's saying. He knows she's wrong. And then he left aside. He left. Because to him, I'm cursing out his mother. I'm cursing out his favorite auntie. I'm letting his sister have it. And to every little simp on the internet who talking about, I have sisters, I have this, I have that. And sometimes them women act like bitches. And if you don't call them a bitch, you wrong. If you don't check them, you wrong. If you don't tell them that ain't how you should access, you wrong. Everybody gets angry at some point in time, but there's a way to be angry. Because now you're going to say, well, that's how we are. That's how women are. We lash out. Well, what should I do when I get angry? I'm way stronger than you. Right? What should a brother do when he gets angry? He should lash out and just be like, well, that's what men do? No. Why is it a brother has the onus? He had to control himself, but she doesn't. No. Mm-mm. We could disagree, and you could go your way. And I could go mine, and that's the end of that. You think you have a license to lash out, something's wrong with you. This week, some woman in some pizza shop in D.C. hit another woman a bat in her head. They're disagreeing over some shit. The broad turned to walk out the pizza store. Crack across the crack back of her head. And then beating her with the bat, brother. They show the picture. You have a big old split in the back here. At what point you thought this was okay? Come on.
It was a sister, like 34, 36. She was the manager of Aunt Pizza. It was two other women that came into the Aunt Pizza 10 minutes before closing.
Right.
So, most restaurants 10 minutes before they be like, all right, we close. I guess the women were like saying, okay, we still got 10 minutes to get some pizza. Can we just please get some pizza? The woman is like, the manager is like, no, get out the store. She opened the door to try to push them out the store. The late woman started recording. So it was two women. Both of them started recording her, the manager. And then I think she tried to push the first woman. The second woman, she took the phone from the second woman and like threw it behind the counter. So now the sister's trying to go behind the counter to get her phone back. That's when she grabbed the bat and hit her over the head and hit her on the arm and all that.
I mean, brother, okay, I would go get one of those little small hat lawyers, and that charge had to go up to attempted murder. Because now this is a beef we have, and you swing a bat at the back of my head, you could kill me. At what point somebody's going to tell you, sister, chill to hell out, man. Chill to hell out. That's not feminine. Relax. It's you street. That's what people do late in the night after they done drink and get drunk. They come for something to eat. If you was a good manager, make some extra pizza so we don't have to make no more. They come in late? Yeah. But you need a man to think like that. You need a man to help you through, to navigate these things. Sisters, y'all are leaving a lot to be desired. I'm gonna tell you straight up. And I know y'all, a lot of y'all out there want to question the sisters in here. Come do it, please. Come question them. And when I say question them, I ain't talking about go and walk up to them and talk to them. You know, we might get aggressive for that. I'm saying come investigate. Come to the Passover. Come to class. Come see how these things are. Come to the high holidays. See what's really going on. The sisters in here are under no danger, and thank the Lord for the Israelite school at UPK for saving their lives. And listen, it was rough on every last one of them. It was absolutely rough on every last one of them. And it's rough not because of abuse or an abusive way. It's rough because this world makes you so goddamn weak. It makes you weak. It makes you not able to say no to something that would kill you. You have sisters coming in here with all sorts of addictions, taking things in that could end your life, and you can't stop. You need somebody to just, hurt you a little bit. You need somebody to tell you something you don't want to hear, so you could be broken, and then now you could be built back up. You could be broken apart like Lego and spread out, and now I could build you back up to how the Lord really wants it to be. Right, let me just get a little bit more. Where we at again? Keep reading. 15.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace.
Is a what?
A double grace.
Is a what?
A double grace.
Go ahead.
And her continent,
you got it. That's it.
Her continent mind cannot be valued.
What does that mean? A shamefaced woman is a double grace. It's twice the blessing. Twice the blessing means that nigga ain't leaving you. That's the blessing. That's the double grace. You're gonna have a man for life, which is something you really want, but you ain't worth it. So you act like you're all right. It's a pride thing. You really want that nigga for life, but he gonna leave you. That's why you're so scared of. You gonna leave me one day. You gonna leave me one day. You gonna leave me one day. You know he ain't shit. Excuse my language. You know he should leave you. I just act like you don't leave him anyway. Instead of becoming the thing, he just can't leave. You could become something Nah, man. This is for life right here. He might take 10 more like you, but he ain't leaving you. A shamefaced woman is a double grace. And what's the next part say? And her continent mind cannot be valued. What's that mean?
So it means she has control over certain things.
That's what continent means. Continent means, look it up. You get the exact definition.
I got it right here.
Go ahead, please.
Continent, having control over urination, defecation, and or sexual urges.
Which means what? Discipline, right? Of course, today they use it for people who have loose bowels. They might have some kind of disease or whatever, but there ain't no disease for sexual urges. They read down for the original of it. Does it have it? Give me the example quickly.
Continent. An example of a continent person is someone who knows when he has to go to the bathroom and uses it.
Any more? If not, go ahead. Okay, continence is control. Control over your bowels, like you're raising kids. There's a point in time where the kid really doesn't have the control. They don't have the self-control, so they need a diaper. And there's a point in time where they're just lazy. And they just sit there and just go. And then you have to go cold turkey and replace the diaper with underwear. So they feel the wet shit coming down the legs. And in about 2 days, they're going to stop. You're like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. But when they had a diaper there, why had to go anywhere? You going to clean that shit. You understand? Continence is control. A woman who is, and her continent mind cannot be valued. A woman who has self-control, her mind. Because that's what goes. That mind, that upstairs be busier than the busiest mall in the busiest town, in the busiest country on the world. That upstairs, brother, is going crazy. And if she's not able to control these thoughts, it's going to be chaos. If she is able to control these thoughts, her value is far beyond anything valuable. Her continent mind is, it cannot be valued. It's invaluable because she's able to control herself so well. Now, if she's not able to control herself, she's very cheap. She's a run-of-the-mill. She's a dime a dozen. You're not a queen. You're not, you're not a princess. Sorry to burst your bubble. You're regular. You're very regular. And you're going to get treated regular. If you act regular, you're going to get treated regular. You get the point? Give me 25, verse 25, quickly.
Verse 25, a shameless woman.
No, Salaka, before you go there, give me verse 9 and 10.
The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
Mm-hmm.
If thy daughter be shameless.
Right, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. She's going to have that proud look on her. And that proud look, brother, usually goes with, a different man every 3 months. Right? A different man ever so often. And she's proud. She's never done nothing wrong. And the man is the man's fault. And she just moves on to whoever else. Right? Go ahead. Come on, quickly, verse 10.
Verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly.
Say it again.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly.
Say it again.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly.
Go ahead.
Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. What does that mean? Come on.
If your daughter don't know how to act, she acting like a whore. You gotta still keep her.
Not just a whore. She could just be shameless, meaning, she doesn't have honor. She's acting dishonorably. Go ahead.
You gotta keep her straight. You gotta keep her in the house. Keep her straight.
Okay, keep her in straitly means straight is old English for tied tight. Like you ever hear somebody say, "I'm in dire straits." Dire, like a straight jacket. A straight jacket it ain't straight. It's you controlled. You got to be strict. You can't give her room. You can't do that. You have to put some weight on her. And that weight to some free broad in the world feels like I'm being oppressed. You're oppressing me. I can't go to the club. I can't do that. I can't have no friends. Yeah, because you're going to make sex tapes with all your friends. So, of course, you can't have no friends. Yes, she can't have no friends. Let her tell you why. Let her tell you what happened to the last friend she had. And I found out about it, and I'm stopping her from doing it. Don't get in this way with your Captain Save a whole ass. Don't get in this. Don't get in the middle of this. This is life and death we're dealing with here. You get the point? If you're too weak to stop her, just say that. But in here, this is equal opportunity. That's another part of the woman's lib I wanted to read on. Woman's lib is about equal gender opportunity. We are absolutely equal opportunity for the genders. We're equally rough on the brothers as we are on the sisters. Equally rough on the brothers. We ain't one-sided. Everybody gets smoke. The oppressor, our people, brothers, sisters, everybody gets it. Come on.
There's a sister online that has a little bit of smoke.
Well, she could say what she want, but go ahead, give me some of it, because we way over, and I don't want to go too much over. Go ahead.
She says, Joanne Knight,
Mhm.
it seems like you were proud of the situation, still talking about it days later. The hate these men have for women is ridiculous.
No, you hate women. You hate women, and you don't want us to correct our sisters so they could be better. I'm talking about it days later because our women are in a bad shape. They're in absolute bad shape, and nobody is saying nothing to them, and you don't want nobody saying nothing to you. I'm talking about it days later. How the fuck you find me, bitch? How, excuse me language, you know we have young ones in the room. How did you find me? You came looking. You came looking. I'm talking about it days later because our women are in a bad state. We're in a bad state. You're low standard. You're low caliber. A man could hardly make something out of you because you can't be corrected. I'm talking about, I ain't proud of it. You think I'm proud to have to correct some woman in the street with her children while the oppressors walking around? While the Chinese walking around? While the East Indians walking around? But I'm going to go do something about it, though. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to do more than your daddy did about you. I'm going to do more than your brothers and your husbands and your uncles did about you. I'm going to do something about it because I'm here for my people. Somebody corrected me. Somebody gave me hard counsel. Somebody hurt my feelings, and not to hurt my feelings to, for the sake of abuse, but it's to hurt you, to let you know you're wrong.
That's right.
You're wrong. And our sisters are wrong, man. They're absolutely wrong. I'm going to talk about it until I see more right than wrong. You want me to stop talking about it? You do better.
Right.
Go tell them women do better. If not, stay out my way. Stay out my way. Y'all don't understand. This ain't nothing. This is not for games and play. We absolutely here to raise Israel up. You think it's just to go out there and say the white man's the devil? Nah, it ain't just that. You got to clean yourself up too. You got to get straight. You got to get right. Let me get some more. Give me verse 10 again. Read real quick. Somebody have it. I'm way over.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly.
Keep her in straitly, tightly. Make it more strict. Make it harder. Make it more difficult. And give her freedom when she shows you that she's earned it. Just like a brother. You're going to have to be, in the straits. You're going to have to be under restriction. When you come in here in the truth, what's the first stage?
Be a young man.
And what do you do as a young man? Simple.
Learn. Nothing.
Real simple. Something else. Real simple. Super simple.
You do what you're told.
You do what you're told. How many times you were told to do something you didn't want to do? A lot. As a young man, you're in the streets. That demon, you're sitting in that chair. Sisters be going through it. Young sisters come in here, and the teacher's just ignoring her. Raise your hand, sis. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. And then she raises her hand. Sit up in that chair. Be quiet. And the fidgeting starts. You're in the streets. Over time, with that, you start doing it yourself. And now somebody notices, well, you're raising your hand. You're talking less. You're sitting up more. This brother showing up on time before he couldn't show up. Now he's showing up. He ain't looking like how he used to. Somebody noticed that. And now the straits get slackened because you putting yourself in straits. This is the problem with people. People think freedom means freedom from nothing. No. You get freedom when you could show somebody you're responsible enough to restrict yourself. Until then, I'll restrict you. And if I can't restrict you, we'll just go to war. That's it. That's that. Keep going.
Lest she abuse herself.
Lest she what?
Lest she abuse herself.
Lest she what?
Lest she abuse herself. Through over much liberty.
Lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. The same sister who asked the question about days later, we talking about it. What does your life look like? What's the liberties you're taking that you know a man would tell you no? What liberties you taking with a child that you know that child's father would say, you ain't doing that with my child. You're gonna abuse yourself with much liberty, so your liberty has to be taken away. Now we're gonna have to do something about it. Y'all want black men, but you don't want black men to be in authority. You don't want strong black men. You want a black man you could do whatever to and whatever with, and things gonna just be normal. That thing ain't gonna happen, man. You're gonna have to become that type of person. You're gonna have to become that type of sister. Give me verse 25.
A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
A shameless woman will be counted as a dog, brother. And there's a lot of shameless women out here. There's a lot of shameless women out here, and somebody needs to tell you about yourself. You're going to be counted as a dog. You have the strength to be better. Be better. And if you don't know how to be better, come in the Israelite School of UPK. There's brothers in here. There's excellent teachers and counselors in here that would make you better. You wondering about our wives. Our wives are accountants and head nurses and lawyers and doctors and engineers and chemists. What the hell are you talking about? Child behavioral therapists. You know how that happens? By telling a bitch stop being a bitch. And as long as a bitch is no longer a career, she'll go soar to the damn stars, brother. She'll go to the moon if you strip that bitch off of her. But you don't want that. Just give me one more and I'm done. Give me with that, pass the class over the priest and officer, Pagaibo. Go ahead.
I know we over the time, but if you could, can we get to the time that
Oh, most side. Listen, man. Every time y'all show up for camp, I appreciate y'all. That's why I be so mad when y'all don't show up. Y'all be thinking Captain Meshach don't like nobody, but nigga, listen, man. God damn, listen. I don't receive gifts good enough. I think y'all trying to. I'm scared of this. Hey, most side Christ, brother. Y'all put my name in Hebrew, kind of shit. Y'all trying to make a nigga cry. God damn, 2 gifts, man, y'all. Both sides Christ out here. So what? Let me see what the hell this is here. Open it up right here. Oh shit. God damn. Oh, that's why you wanted these measurements for. Listen, this is outstanding here, brother. God damn. That's a headpiece. I realize my Passover garment gonna have to be made around this one. Go ahead.
Notice all the different weapons on it, because you once said that you were nigga rich. You know what I mean? You rich niggas, and that's all. The brotherhood is a weapon. So
I think I have a few of these weapons here. So this one here look familiar. Go ahead, both sides Christ, brother. I definitely appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. What's this one here? I can open this one. Y'all have me opening. Listen, man. Y'all think we building some old fake brotherhood in here? This is real brotherhood in here. These brothers will tell you I'm absolutely hard on them. Some of them think I hate them until they go out into the world and see real hatred. You know what I mean? You sure? I think I might. I don't know. Forget about the broads. I see that video reached. So listen, General Thumb called me today, brother. He said, Meshach, hold on. Then he comes back on the phone and there's a woman going off on the other end. And me, I'm just listening to her just go off about how crazy we is and the Lord gonna kill us and this and that. Y'all ain't never had no fathers, man. Y'all ain't never had no fathers. How I open this here? Oh shit, be much shit. Yikes. I like this here, boy. Oh shit. Just tuck this right away right here. Salaka. You see, I done wrecked the shit here already. Y'all know it's like that's why I can't receive gifts. Like I done broke down sheet. Yeah, this is right here. This is gonna remain right here. I'm gonna put this right here on every Wednesday. I want this here. Tawada Akim. I appreciate that. Tawada. With that, I can pass the class over now. With that, I pass the class over the preset officer for guy boy. Most side Christ.
I.S.U.P.K security announcement. We're the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to check themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. It's the Lord's 54th annual Passover at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the Raleigh Convention Center. But prior to that, we have the Lamb Slaughter on Wednesday, March 29th. And then we have the Black Wall Street Tour, the Stagville Plantation Tour, and the All Black Party and a live concert Thursday, March 30th. And then Friday, March 31st, we have the Kids Party at Adventure Landing, and General Muhammad is having a scripture breakdown. It's Saturday, April 1st, is the Lord's 54th annual Passover at Raleigh Convention Center, and Sunday, April 2nd, the Feast of Unleavened Bread at the Sheraton Hotel. Remind Akim and Akwakim to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I say Imadi, which means to stand.
You can skip the practice for tonight.
No, let's do it. Kano Kasa. Say Wakman Yah Hakwadam, which means turn to face the east. We'll say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak with God, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawah, Ayah, Bashamayim, the thunder now, Nakam, Kal, Yuwam, Wasalak now, Kasalak now, Kawawat now, Wala'ah, Taba'ah now, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashaya now, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Naka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, Wa'ayulamia, the water Aman.
In the English,
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Psalm speech turn. Sister, you may sit. We'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham. Yagim Batah. Psalm, which means turn. We'll give one, sister, you may stand. Ahmad. We'll give one courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel. Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak.
Yahweh Shema Alatham Hashem Yahushua.
Yagim Batah. Class dismissed.
They ain't know nothing about race.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General Yahanna is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheridan in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.